That should do it. There we go. What's up, Economist? Long time no see. Good to have you. Busy with work. Yeah, that's always tough. I do understand. All right, I'm going to run an ad real quick to get rid of the pre-rolls for a bit. Open up the show notes. Where are they? There you are. Okay. Oh, thank you, Alor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Phone is on silent, so it can shut up for now. And then what else needs to be done? I think we're pretty much there. I want to say Bold Viking is getting some Pyanodons done. Ever the efficient Factorian. Let's go look at what he's doing. Yep.
4 stacks or something like that. Alright, alright. That'll be it. Good. Let's do this quick and dirty. Thank you so much for today. We will be continuing our adventure on Monday.
Here he comes.
I'm missing the blood. I'll do the blood afterwards. It's only blood, man. It's only blood. But thank you so much for today. I'll be back on Monday. But for now, we're going to be back on Crydex's channel because he is doing a podcast and we are going to be his special guest today. So we're going to raid over right away. See you again on Monday. The channel has follower or subscriber only chat. Yeah, that should be fine, I guess. Have a good night. Yes, I'll just go to sleep right away or something like that. I'll just go to Crydex's channel and go like, we're going to be sleeping now, man.
What's up, Dave?
After that, after the podcast, I will be enjoying the rest of my Sunday. But nevertheless, thank you so much for today. I'll be back on Monday with Factorio, Tuesday with Factorio, Wednesday with Rimbold, Thursday with Rimbold, Friday with Greg Tech. And maybe we do add some more Sunday streams. This was a pretty good Sunday stream, actually. Who knows? We will see. We will see. Nevertheless, have an amazing time with Fridex. I'll be over there in a second and see you there.
All right. Let's see. It's a long game. Yeah, I just looked at it for the first time and it looked pretty cool. Hey everybody, welcome. Why didn't my oh yeah, I turned off Twitch alerts. That's right, because it's a podcast. What's up, Melon? Welcome. DeBouse. The factory must indeed grow. Let's see. We're waiting for Bold Viking to join the Discord channel. He's a bit slow. Yeah, but he's been doing quite a bit of Pyanodonsing. I'd say he is faster than most people. Because, hey, you know, slow and steady wins the race, right? Sometimes it's the turtle that gets there.
There he is.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, there's a wild bold Viking.
Hey there, Crydex. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Let me just get my post-stream stretch in.
Yes, exactly. Go care for your body. Did you want to do video on your end and have me put both up here, or no?
Yes, I could turn on my camera. Let's see. Where's the button for that? Turn on my.
All right. I need to create
camera.
I need to make a little window in
mug?
OBS real quick.
Have fun figuring out my green screen, man. You might have to crop the right part.
Yeah, I'll probably just do a little crop. All right, let me plus window capture.
All right, let me also, there we go. Let me put you in the middle so I also look at the camera. There we go. Also hide less about my mic.
Let's see.
You gotta crop it like that?
We'll get there.
I'm tiny.
Yeah, we'll make this bigger, don't worry. Maybe if I make it a pop out, will that be better? Oh, now it's grabbed the wrong window. Technical difficulties. Let me, I could have figured this out before and I didn't. So here we are. There we go. Wait, what? It says it's
capturing. I can see a very, very small window next to the construction bots.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
this
there it
tiny
is.
Strip.
Okay, I just started it back up. Now let me try again. There's you. Okay, now we make that bigger in this screen. Then we go to Discord or OBS. There we go. Cropify. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Oops. There we go. There we go. All right. Cool. Now I move me
I guess
over.
you did not have these technical issues with JD, as he has never been seen before.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't on camera, so I didn't have to worry about it. All right, and now let me do that, and then we will see if we can green screen you. Or not. At least I can do a simple chroma key, I think. We'll see if it helps. Yeah, actually, not bad.
It should be fine. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah, sweet. Okay. All right, though my chair is going in front of you. Let's fix that. There's the edge of me. There we go. Perfect. All right. Let me turn up my brightness a little bit because that looks really weird. Ten out of 10. Would podcast again.
Are you live again, or is my browser just not up to date? There you go. I had to refresh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it should be working. I think everything, all channels are a go.
All right.
Okay, I will hit the record button here in a second. I just got to make sure I got all my ducks in a row. Do I have the show notes up? They were somewhere. There they are. Okay. And Discord, in case people need to ping me with something important. All right.
Should be fine.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Factory Must Grow, Episode 5. Joining me on the line today is Bold Viking. Bold, where are you joining us from again?
Germany.
Germany.
It's like 5 p.m. over here.
Yeah. You guys are 6 hours ahead, I think, of Eastern, where I am. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Absolutely great. Just had a fun pie stream and can't complain about anything.
Awesome.
Yet.
Well, that's always a good thing. So today on the cast, we'll start with another mod spotlight. As usual, we'll discuss the recent Factorio Friday facts, and then we'll dive into some questions with Bold, specifically about Pyanodons, which is easily the hardest mod pack for Factorio. So there's a lot of interesting discussion to be had around that one. But first, we'll start with the spotlight. Today, I'm going to spotlight a pretty simple one. It's a quality of life mod that I personally can't live without anymore, which is Pipe Visualizer by Rygaard. Another one by Rygaard. Yep, he's the guy that's now employed by Woob. He made this mod about 2 years ago. It's got 66,000 downloads, and what it does is it allows you to hover over a pipe system and see what it's connected to. And so you can select a visualize all pipes mode, which allows you to essentially see what all of the connections are going to, as well as different colors for each type of fluid. So the, sulfuric acid is going to be yellow, whereas the crude oil will be black. So you can easily sort out all of your pipes. There's also a mouse over mode, so you can just see pipes that you hover over, and it even highlights the buildings too that those pipes go into. My favorite one, though, is one I learned about recently, which is a visualize pipes mode or a sticky visualizer. And what that allows you to do is you can hit H over a pipe and it will kind of keep that pipe system on the screen, but none of the other ones. And so you can just focus on one specific connection that you're trying to figure out over the course of your entire base. Like recently in my Pyanodons run, I was trying to figure out where is this steam going? Because steam is going everywhere. And so I would hit H on my steam pipe, and then I could easily see what it's connected to and what it's not, and where the one-way pipes are and such. So that's really helpful. I find it pretty invaluable. Now, Bold, I know you have a little bit of a different approach to quality of life mods. You don't have them.
What quality of life you talk about?
Exactly.
Just build better bases, man.
Just build better bases, exactly. But we'll chat a little bit more about your lack of quality of life mods later. For now, I wanted to get a little bit into the Factorio Friday facts. Did you read those, Bold, or have you not caught up with them yet?
I'm reading them every Friday, of course, because Factorio is an amazing game.
Yes.
You have to write them. Also, there seems to be a protest going on in front of my window. Well, it'll be fine. Enjoy the wedding bells over there. I hope you don't hear them.
Only faintly. But so one of the interesting things that they recently talked about was the new music, and I talked about that a little bit in the last Friday Facts, but in this one they talked about automating the soundtrack, which I thought was really interesting. And so they kind of outlined a process where I don't know, how would you describe it, Bold? They kind of splice together different samples, but in a way that's not consistent.
Yes, because they more or less try to generate it as they go. It's a topic I've also been thinking about in the past, because I'm still thinking about adding more music to my own stream. And I was more or less thinking about doing something where I would just get multiple tracks which overlay perfectly, and then just switch around between them depending on the situation. That's one way how you could do it. If you just got music that hooks together perfectly fine, you could do something like that. But what they're doing in Factorio themselves is that they're more or less trying to, depending on the situation, to change it a little bit more dynamically, which could be fun. I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me. One thing that I noticed, you can go to the Friday Facts, it'll be in the show notes, and listen to some of the tracks that they share. The first one, it sounded cool, but one thing that I noticed, and someone on Reddit also pointed out in the comments, was that because there's no discernible long-term pattern, it can almost be a little bit confusing because, you know, like in a lot of tracks, you start to vibe with it, right? You learn the beat, you learn what notes are when, you learn the melody, and so you start to kind of get a feel for it. But with these randomized, it's always kind of keeping you on your toes because it's always changing up. Like, oh, instead of this bass riff, we're going to do a different bass riff, or instead of this melody that kind of goes up, it's going to be a similar melody, but it goes down. And so I wonder, I don't know if it's almost going to be like weirdly dissonant. Maybe that's not the right word because the notes will work. But yeah, I don't know.
It could be weird because if you think about how people enjoy music, the thing that people enjoy most about the music is that they recognize it again. And that's where the enjoyment comes from. Like if you hear a song and you already know how it goes, you go like, yeah, that's my beat. That could, of course, be an issue with how they try to do it. But then again, I'm pretty sure that there's only going to be like only a finite amount of variations they're going to have. So it should be fine, in my opinion. But yeah, the other thing definitely an interesting approach.
The other thing I noticed is that they mentioned they'll play in between the main tracks. These, like, what did they call them? Variable music tracks is what they called them. And so they'll play in between.
AI, but they didn't play that card.
Yeah, exactly. So one other thing they get into, you know, and I'm not going to dive into all of this in the podcast, but they get into some of the technical challenges of figuring that out. And I highly recommend you go and check it out because it's really cool to read. I understood about half of it, which still was very interesting. But they even talk about how, like, you know, the 60 updates per second that the game has is a spacing of 16 and a half milliseconds or so, but their music sampling happens at about 11 milliseconds. And so they had to figure out some like buffering and queuing for the music so that there wouldn't be little like half a millisecond breaks in the sound and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool to read about, but you know, nothing that will really affect the end user. Of course, the end result will be great music, and that's what's important.
If the game will be running at 60 FPS, that is. I mean, there are certain bases out there that are running at less.
that is a good point. Yeah, exactly. And so I wonder also if, you know, they have that taken into account. I'm sure they have, but because I've never really had a base that goes much slower. I think once I got under 60 UPS, but it wasn't very much. It was like 58, or, you know, it was way up there. Didn't get down to 30 like you did.
Yeah, and the old Pi base, that was definitely going under 30, even on the 25 at points. It was.
Yeah, exactly. A couple FAQ questions they answered towards the bottom. They mentioned that when you're in remote view with the music, it will switch based on what surface you're looking at. So if I'm on Nauvis and then I go look at Vulcanus, it will switch the music track to a Vulcanus track. And they mentioned not having a fade in and out. They mentioned that's possible. And a lot of people in the comments were saying, yeah, we definitely want to fade in and out. It'll be a little weird to have it kind of going back and forth. So we'll see. I'm sure whatever they go with will work out well. They also talk about a music controller that's in the hidden settings where you can kind of like pause, go to next track, go to previous track. But there's nothing more complex that they're going to add in. Something like, I know Command & Conquer had a music controller where you could select tracks that would never play. Oh, yes. Or kind of make your own playlist in the game. And I'm sure there will be a mod that does that because they said there's lots of modding control.
I remember that old Command & Conquer interface. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is, I have to say. One more thing they mentioned is that they'll sell the soundtrack, you know, if you're interested in purchasing it. And this one will be much larger, obviously, with at least 5 hours of music of the non-variable tracks. And I don't know if they're going to put any variable tracks or not in that, but it'll definitely be a lot of music. And from what we've heard so far, it sounds pretty cool. So I'm excited to kind of hear the music once it's released. But yeah, on to the main topic, because Bold, we've got you here, and that is a special treat. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from?
Oh, I'm Bold. I'm from Germany. I've been playing Factorio for, when did it come out? 10 years ago, something like that. Way too long. And I just enjoy myself on Twitch because I needed something else to do.
Yeah. So how'd you get into Factorio in the automation genre? Like, why did it pull you in?
I think the first time I really got pulled into it was because I was watching a YouTube stream, not really a stream, a YouTube video back then, done by Arumba and Stijo, if anyone remembers them. They're both still doing content, but they kind of moved on to different topics now. And it seemed like a lot of fun. And then I downloaded the game, and then weeks went on, and I was never seen again until I came out of my PC cave and was like, yes, this is a fun game.
Yep. Yeah, I remember downloading the demo the first time, and I was just blown away. I was like, this is the game. This is the game I've been waiting for my whole life that never existed until now.
Yeah, and back then it was mainly Bobs and Angels, but I was playing quite a bit. And back then I was like, oh, this is complicated. Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you know about Pi back then?
Yep, Pi was not a thing yet. So what do you do apart from, the insane mod packs that you play? Is it full-time streaming? Do you have some other work on the side?
I'm more or less full-time employed. I'm a senior software developer, embedded software developer. So I work more or less 40 hours a week, and then 20 hours a week on top of that I stream.
That's a busy world. I don't know where you find time for sleeping and eating.
Me neither.
Problems to be solved later, right? That's tomorrow's problem.
Yes. I mean, I also did YouTube content in the past as well, but I did really notice that I don't have enough time for that. I mean, I was recording like YouTube videos in my lunch breaks, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you got to care for yourself at some point.
This doesn't go well. So I sadly had to drop those. I do want to get back to them at some point in time, if maybe some other circumstances change, but we will see about that.
Makes sense. So in Factorio, you've mentioned playing mod packs, and for the viewers that don't know, Bold Viking, a few years ago, how many years ago was it that you started your first Pi run, your Pianodons run?
I think 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Usually my Twitch chat over here helps.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they'll chime in. But yeah, so Pianodons is essentially just to give people a little background for those who don't know, in Pianodons, you have an absurd amount of recipes. Vanilla Factorio has maybe around 100 recipes. I don't actually know. I haven't counted, but it's very manageable. You can memorize all of them after you've played the game a few times. There's really not a ton of complexity to them. Most things only require 1, 2, or 3 ingredients. A few of them require more. And Pianodons is like just going to laugh at that, because not only are there recipes that literally require 15 or 20 ingredients, different ingredients for the same recipe, but there's hundreds, and I think it's probably like over 500 or 600 separate buildings that all do different things that can make different recipes. And those buildings, most of them have 4 different tiers that you can build them in. And so, and there's over, I think, 10 or 20,000 recipes. Like last time I heard, I think it's somewhere in between 10 and 20,000. So it's pretty
probably
crazy.
If you count all the ash recipes, which you don't need, because you can burn every product to ash.
Yeah, there's a lot of voiding things, and there's a lot of new mechanics, and so Pianodons isn't just complexity for the sake of complexity. They add a ton of new mechanics. The alien life part of Pi mods adds in this really cool system of plants and animals, and you have to like kind of breed them and reproduce them, and you have to make them almost using like gene splicing to get the first few, and then you have to get more and more and more, and then eventually you can mass produce them and their byproducts. And then speaking of byproducts, a lot of Factorio mods have you handling byproducts. Vanilla Factorio, really the only thing they do is advanced oil cracking, where, you might have heavy oil that you don't have anything to do with, and you have to do something with it, because if you don't do something with it, it'll block up your light oil and petroleum production. And in Pianodons, that's almost everything, is making some other thing that you have to deal with. And if you don't deal with it, it'll block the thing you're trying to produce. So Pianodons is crazy. It is a massive undertaking. I mean, as far as I know, unless people are speedrunning, it's always taken people at least 1,000 hours to beat. So why did you choose Pianodons of all things?
That's a good question. I remember when I finished up my Bobs and Angels playthrough, probably 5 years ago, that I was like, all right, what's going to be the next big mod pack we're going to be picking? And I was like, I didn't really want to do space exploration back then, and I didn't really want to do K2, and I was like, let's just do Pi. And then I just went with it, and I just started to enjoy it, because it was so entirely different. It was more complicated than anything I was used to. And back then, I already thought I was a good Factorio player, but no. That first Pi run changed everything. Absolutely everything. And even after the first Pi run, after I completed it, I still changed everything because I now make in my second Pi run builds differently from things I learned in the first Pi run. And probably there will most likely be a third Pi run at some point in time. I will still be doing things even more differently because you just keep on learning and you keep on improving what you need to do.
Totally.
And that's the fun part. That's the real fun part. Making terrible builds.
Yes, and then hopefully making them less terrible at some point. What did you find appealing about Pinedons over maybe some of the like? Do you find just the length appealing? Is it the fact that it's a really long mod that you're not just going to beat it in 50 hours? Is that part of why you like it?
Not really. I mean, I'm used to playing long games usually. I mean, even if you play Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. I mean, a game of Dungeons and Dragons, a session might be done in like a couple of hours, but a campaign in Dungeons and Dragons, that's going to take you like a year, two. And I used to be a game master back in the day when I had a little bit more time, especially during university, where I was writing my own adventures, which was a lot of fun. But it also took a lot of time. And I guess once I stopped doing that, I got into Pi and well, it fills a good void because you're basically building these big things in Pythons. It's always like you're not only doing ore processing, like you're not just smelting iron ore into iron plates. You're gonna have to crack it. You're gonna have to sort it. You're gonna have to wash it. You're gonna have to crush it again, and the chain goes on. The chain is pretty extensive. And once you set that entire thing up with a near perfect ratio, because a perfect ratio never works. Then you have this massively looking amazing machine that you just look at and you go like, oof, this is amazing.
Yeah, completely. There's nothing more satisfying than finishing an entire processing chain and then watching it start to work and everything works the way you hoped it would. That always feels really good. Half the time it doesn't work the way you hoped it would, but either way, it does feel really good to complete those things. What gives you the patience for Pinedons? Because a lot of players, I would say probably 90%, based on just being around the Reddit and the Discords and such, I think most people quit long before they beat Pinedons. What gives you the patience to keep going or the motivation to keep going?
Probably pot commitment, because if I would have bought it now, it would be an even more waste of time.
So it's the sunk cost fallacy.
More or less.
Yeah. I've already put 400 hours in, so I can't quit now.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the more wasteful waste, in my opinion. I mean, even if I'm only going to do it maybe like once a week, okay, we're now doing it more per week because we kind of want to get done before 2.0 comes out. But still, you just see the thing still grow in small ways, and you still shape it, and you still care for it. And at some point in time, you're done with it. And then if you're going to be done with it, you want to be really done with it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the idea of like shaping it almost like it's a little plant. I've been recently saying a bunch in my Pinedons videos, and for those who are only watching one or the other, I am not anywhere near as far as Bold. I'm still under 100 hours in, which is really not even the early game. It's like the tutorial almost.
What science are you at right now?
I am getting closer to green science, logistics science. Yeah, exactly. So all that to say, one thing I've been kind of saying to myself and to my viewers over and over again is like, look, as long as I'm doing something will get done. And eventually, if you do enough somethings, the big things get done, and you do a lot of those and you beat the pack. And so really, with these longer packs, I see a lot of people post about this in the Factorio Reddit as well. It's a problem not just with Pinedons, but even with the easier mod packs like Bob's Angels and even Vanilla Factorio. I see people talking about, I get burnt out once I get to oil processing, or there's too much and I get overwhelmed and it feels like I can't handle it, so I just start a new map. And one thing that's helped me with this exact thing is to just remember, as long as you're doing something, as long as you're taking steps forward, you're going to be making progress. There's really no such thing as backwards progress in Factorio, unless you count biters eating your base or things like that. You can't really move backwards. As long as something's automated, even if it's crappy, it's going to get you closer to a better build next time, a better, the next step of processing. And so really it is about not necessarily, if you zoom out too much and try to look at the whole picture, sometimes you get a little overwhelmed and you get a little lost. You're looking at the mountain that you have to hike and it's just too much. But yeah, if you if you just kind of focus on where your feet are and I just take the next step in front of me, I think that can help a lot to keep going. And I myself struggle with this. There's a little bit of like, when I look at how much I have to do to get red circuits and Pyanodons, I'm like, oh God, can I, like, it's just too much. But then if you just do the next thing, you'll get there eventually. So yeah, one thing you mentioned is trying to get Pyanodons done before Space Age. How many hours are you into your current Pyanodons run?
I think 1,700. Let me put it up real quick. I can tell you like in a couple seconds.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely already past 1,800, I think.
Wow.
Maybe even already past 1,900 hours. But then again, I also do sometimes let the game run while I'm at work in the background, when I just want to wait for like some buffers to back up again or to fill up again.
Yeah.
As that is a big issue with every big mega base. Let me
Totally.
turn the sound off real quick. So, there we go.
And are you playing with biters on in your current playthrough or not?
Yes, but the biters are set to the utmost minimal settings.
Okay.
Which means all the sliders are more or less to the minimum, but migration is on. But like I said, I do want biters to be on the map, mostly because I need something that keeps me in my place, that keeps me on my toes, but I don't really want that many biters on the map that it's going to be a chore that I have to do all the time. And I think the settings I currently have are amazing for that, because whenever I need to expand, I just need to go out there and just defeat a couple of them, and then I'm going to be good. So every expansion hurts a bit, but not too much, because the pack already hurts enough.
Right.
And actually,
right.
wait a minute, playtime is 1,383 hours. I was completely wrong on that.
Okay, so about 1,400. Still,
Yeah,
that's what, 50, 60 days or something like that? That's a lot.
That's full days, not work days.
Exactly. Yeah. That's 180 work days if you're counting 8-hour Factorio shifts. Which is, that's a lot.
Almost a full work year, almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Weekends don't exist.
Yeah. Oof. Man, that's
and
awesome.
Also, the science counter says 45.4% science done. So,
wow.
Almost halfway.
That's impressive. I'm excited to see if you can get that done before Space Age, which sounds like it might be coming in October. I forget if I mentioned this in the last podcast, but there was an official statement by one of the Factorio devs in an interview where he said October at the latest. And so we'll see. Hopefully that remains true. And we have a little bit of a hope that it'll be here in less than 6 months. So.
Yeah, but so October will come faster than you might think. But at latest, yes. I mean, if they're going to already aim for October, it's probably going to be October, because nobody releases early. Nobody. Yeah,
exactly. They're going to take all the time to make sure that everything's perfect. And that's one thing I do trust from Woob, is that they're going to make sure everything's polished and perfect. So I do think it's going to feel very nice to have a game release, and it's going to be in great condition and mostly bug-free. Nothing's perfect, but compared to what other AAA studios do these days, and yeah, I think it'll be a very good release in October. One other question I had is just kind of with Pyanodons, what do you like about the Pi pack? Mainly in comparison to other Factorio mod packs. What makes it unique, and what do you like about it?
The thing I like the most about Pyanodons is all the buildings. Like there's so many custom buildings in it, and every time you build parts of the base, they always look completely different than other parts. Even the ore processing, even though most of the time it's still crushing, sorting, and then doing something else of it, even those look entirely different, because the recipes are not similar. They're all different recipes for different ores in different ways you need to process them, and they're all attached more or less to processes you find in real life as well. Not too accurate, because there's also this meme going along in the Pi Discord thing about like don't think too real about it, because then you lose fun, which makes sense.
Yep.
But close enough that it is fun enough.
Yeah.
And all those real ore processes are amazing. I mean, it's interesting to see what needs to be done to get to that point. And it's still a very, very, very simplified version of that, because if you really think into ores, there are so many ores out there.
Totally.
So
I like that realism as well, and I think it adds a little bit of spice to the enjoyment of the game to know that, hey, what I'm doing is at least approximating what actually happens in real life, what's interesting about Pi is it blends kind of the sci-fi of these crazy animals that don't exist with real world processing of metals, along with some metals that don't exist, you know, like Nexalit and stuff. So I like that Pi kind of blends the real and the unreal in a way that feels all together. It feels real for the Factorio world. It feels very reasonable, you know, that something like the Pi world could exist, and it's not just kind of abstracting a bunch of stuff, but it's like, no, you actually have to crush this ore, and then you have to electrolyze it, and then after you electrolyze it, you got to pulp it together with these other products, and then after that, you can start to crystallize things, and it's this crazy process. One thing you mentioned is all the different buildings, and do you find that the art is a big deal for you, like the Pi art, or do you kind of just not care?
Mm, I mean, the pie art is important in my point. That's part of the thing why things look so impressive. I mean, all the farms look amazing with all the different animals on it. Even the buildings with the animations, even some of them are a bit bugged, look great. The only downside I see about the pie art is that the buildings are usually a little bit too big, and you can hide stuff behind it, which we also had just in the stream before, where we just missed the connection for like the barrel pump because, well, we didn't see it. That's the only annoying part. That's the only really, really annoying part about the graphics, that they're sometimes just too big and you just miss it.
Totally. Yeah, the buildings are massive, and sometimes the overhang behind them is pretty big. I find that the art is such a big deal for me. The Pionodon's art is so good. It's a different style. You know, some people look at things like Industrial Revolution 3 and they say that's the best. Some people look at what's the other one? I feel like Bob's Angels, specifically the Angels side of things, is very good. But Pionodon's has such a unique style, and I think it's so realistic and just good looking. And yeah, and like I said earlier, there's hundreds of different buildings, and all of them have unique art. And these are large buildings. They're not just little 3x3 assembler size buildings. Some of them are 23x23 size buildings. So if you think about the amount of pixels that you have to design and the sprites and the animations, it's absolutely insane what Pi has done with the art.
The only thing you have to add to that is that the pie art is sometimes a bit low res, but that makes sense, because if you've got that many arts in there, it's gonna eat a bit GPU memory. I mean, at this moment already, it's eating up 10 gigabytes of my graphics card, where I just go like, what? Excuse me.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know for some people they actually have issues with running the sprite sheets, and you have to change one of the settings, I think, to like medium for the sprite atlas instead of large, and that can help some people from stuttering. But yeah, it's an absurd amount of sprites. One thing I was thinking about when you were talking about the ore processing chains that I want to hit on for Pionodons for people, because a lot of people have played Bob's Angels, or at least they've watched someone play it, and that kind of is more of, especially since it's older, it was the gold standard for a long time in terms of overhaul mods. But one thing with Bob's Angels is the ore processing is pretty much exactly the same for every single ore. And so you end up setting up the same chain where you crush the ore, then you turn it into pellets, and then you take those pellets and you put it into the induction smelter to melt it down into a molten. Sometimes you combine it with one other ingredient first, but you end up with only one or two differences between every single ore chain. And you're doing the same build, you know, I don't remember how many ores there are, 15 or 20 in Bob's Angels, and that gets pretty repetitive. And so I find that Pionodons is really refreshing because every single ore chain is completely different. Like Bold was saying, you're not just doing the same process. Yes, you do often crush it, but then even which crushers, there's different types of crushers, and there's different types of sorters, and there's different types of screeners, and what order you do those things in, and what byproducts it creates, they're all different. And so you really are designing the build pretty much from the ground up every single time. It's not like you can copy your iron build and use that for copper. That's really never a thing. And that's one thing that I really like about Pionodons is no build feels the same.
The one thing I really enjoyed about Angels was actually the metallurgy part, where basically you end up with all kinds of ingots for all the base metals. And then after that, before you smelt it, for example, into iron or in steel, you mix and match those ingots again. which was a great part in Angels. And that's a part, well, you do have that in Pi with all of the alloys now. But you didn't really have it like on the level as in Angels, where you had like manganese and stuff like that, where you then just add it to your iron to make more iron out of it, or to turn it into steel and stuff like that.
Yeah, specifically the angels, the final part of the ore processing was cool. I did like all the ingots. It was cool that you could combine different ingots to alloy. And some of the alloys, I also found it interesting in angels, you could only alloy them after they were a liquid, whereas some of them you could melt together the different ingots and alloy them at the ingot stage. And I always thought that was interesting too. Okay, so we talked about some of the great parts about Pionodons. What do you not love about Pionodons? What's bothering you these days?
Hot air.
Hot air.
Why is it so hard to make hot air? Good God.
Yeah, you'd think with enough electricity you could make some hot air, right?
Yes. I mean, if it would be clean hot air, I would understand why it needs to be so complicated. But yeah, for some reason, the hot air chain is this really, really weird thing that they set up where you need to make hot air, which you then use to heat up bricks, and then you get colder hot air, which you then need to heat up the lower tier bricks to make them not heat up immediately. It's super weird, man.
Yeah, it is weird. It's kind of.
Once you wrap your head around it, it's actually pretty easy and pretty straightforward. But getting there is always like, why?
Yeah, you use the hottest thing to heat up the almost hottest brick, and then the air that heated up the hottest brick is now a little bit cooler. So then you heat up the next coolest brick from there, and you kind of it's almost like a reverse stair step where you have bricks going from room temperature to like stage 3 or 4 hotness, and you have the coke oven gas that you're getting going from stage 4 hotness down to stage 0, and you got to like stair step both of them, one of them backwards. It's very interesting. I definitely am glad that they got rid of the old recipe though, where you could just destroy bricks to make hot air. That was a weird one, so I'm glad that one's gone at least.
Is it?
It is, yes. I promise it's gone. If it still existed, I would be using it a lot. So one thing I noticed, we've talked a lot about how hard Pionodons is and how you've been playing Pionodons. I noticed you're also playing GregTech New Horizons. Tell us, Bold, why do you hate yourself?
Because flagellation costs money, and playing GregTech does not cost any money or injury. So yes.
Fair enough.
I mean, GregTech is different. I mean, I'm playing GregTech more as an idle game, if you think about it, because it's running on the server, and then you just set something up that's automated, and you just let it run, and then you come back to it, and of course it failed because you forgot something, and then you come back to it again, and then you just tweak at it. It's more like this more enjoyable cooldown game, more or less, which I need to play to not play Factorio, because if I would be playing Factorio even on my cooldown days, I would be going completely bananas, probably.
Yeah, and for those viewers who know what GregTech New Horizons is, they're going to be listening to you saying, wait, GregTech New Horizons is your cooldown game? and I think that helps you realize what Pionodons is. I think a lot of people do actually compare those two. For people coming from the Minecraft world, it's like, okay, Pionodons is the GregTech New Horizons of Factorio and vice versa, because they're just such huge packs. It's crazy.
But the fun part about GregTech is, or at least about Minecraft, in my opinion, it's just like playing with Legos, in my opinion. It's just stick blocks together, and it's just a lot of fun. It's always fun to stick blocks together. And then you build something big and stupid, and you go like, yes, that's my big and stupid.
Yeah, exactly. There's a sense of pride when you're looking at your base, even if it's a hodgepodge mess. Do you find, I'm curious, with Minecraft, do you ever... Or not do you ever, but just how much do you care about making things look nice? Like, do you build buildings with roofs, or do you just slap everything wherever it fits and go full spaghetti? What's your vibe?
In Minecraft, I do care more about it, because you are more immersed into the world, because you do kind of want to see a nice building where all your factories are housed. In Factorio, I don't care. In Factorio, my opinion is always like, the belt doesn't know it's crooked. The belt doesn't know it's spaghetti. The belt only needs to do one thing, bring stuff from A to B, and that's fine.
Yep. Yeah, I find that I'm pretty similar. I don't do a great job with aesthetics, but I do care more about them in games like Minecraft, or Satisfactory is another example where you're immersed in that 3D world. You're actually traversing your factory, and that's part of the interestingness in Satisfactory and Minecraft, is that you have to build your base in such a way that you can get around your base easily. And that's not really a thing in Factorio, especially once you get, vehicles like Spidertrons or jetpacks or things like that. You really just can almost teleport around.
Or even if you're at the bot stage. I mean, as soon as you're in the bot stage, you can basically get your garden chair out, sit in it, and go.
Yeah, exactly. You can just crack
Everything
open
will
a
be done
cold
by a
one on
map.
the beach. Yep. And so, yeah, I think that with the aesthetics, it is interesting how Factorio kind of, by nature, with the 2D top down and not really having different Z levels, it really does kind of make it so that aesthetics are really just that. They are far more just aesthetics. And it's not like you're combining aesthetics with functionality, which is where games like Minecraft or Satisfactory, how you build it actually changes how you can get around it and where the items can travel. If you build two different things on two different floors, that changes the logistics of how you move those items. Whereas in Factorio, everything's on one floor, and you really are going to get an item from point A to point B the same way, no matter where you put it. There are underground belts, of course, but that's really the only thing. Soon there will be a second level of trains, though, which will be fun.
Yes, and then the big question will be overhead or underhead trains, because the same as left-hand traffic and right-hand traffic, people will be like trains on the ground or in the air.
Exactly. Yeah.
Trains in the air.
Yeah, my plan is to put them in the air all the time, because why not? Then I don't get hit by them if I'm running over the track or under the tracks.
Would be funny to see if you can get hit by the trains if you fly around with your jetpack or something like that. I do know that there's this fun bug in space exploration that when you go into the rocket and you take off in the rocket, you can hit the train if it passes.
Oh, really? That's funny. I didn't know that. So one question that I have is, would you recommend Pyanodons to, our listeners or viewers?
Viewers, start running now. I mean, I can definitely recommend it. I mean, if you want to try it out and get yourself like a big challenging build or something like that, do try play Pyanodons. Like I said, I've learned so much more about Factorial while playing Pi than I've been learning when I was learning about Factorial when I was doing Angels and Bobs, because the issues you're going to get when you're building big builds in Pi are not things that you're going to get when you build Angels and Bobs. Angels and Bobs, you could technically probably just easily main bus even, where you just go like, here, make a big main bus, hook everything together, things come out at the end, and you're done. A main bus is not possible in Pi. Definitely. Well, you can. It's going to look super weird, but you can, but it's going to be weird, man.
It would be thousands of belts wide.
Yep.
I think you'd need a next gen PC to be able to handle a main bus in Pi.
Not only that, it would be going left and right at the same time, because recipes also change, and then you get like new dependencies, which need to go the other way again.
Yeah, it would need to be an up and down kind of bus where you can send items backwards or forwards. It would be messy.
Yeah.
So with the recommending thing, you and I diverge a bit in how many quality of life mods we use. I believe you use 0?
Let's see, what do I have? I've got like the copy paste module one. That's probably a quality of life one, way when you like shift left click and shift right click the recipes around, and they got modules in them, they get copied over.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice addition. That should be in the base game, in my opinion. Then we got the jetpack. We got some stuff that changes like how things look, but that's not really quality of life. That's just how things look, cosmetics. And then the module insert, I think, is the only one I've remaining.
Okay, so maybe just 2 if you count jetpacks and the module inserter. Wow.
Yes.
Whereas I probably have about 40 or maybe 50. I don't know. I'd have to count them. One thing I would recommend.
Landfill pluses in there, where we can pick up landfill again. I actually got the whole list over here.
Okay.
Landfill pluses in there, copy paste modules, blueprint signals. That's a very good one. I can highly recommend blueprint signals. Which allows you to take a blueprint and turn it into a single combinator that you then have as signals, which you could use for automatic constructing and stuff like that.
Right.
Then the blueprint tools are in there as well. We do have a task list. We never use it. Resource highlighter, which we occasionally use. Of course, things to look up recipes, FNEI, recipe book in there. And then the blueprint tools, which are also really, really good. And there's one more in there, which is called realistic decoration cleanup, which just takes care of like plants that are growing everywhere when you put stuff down, because then the base looks a bit cleaner.
Right.
And the only thing that's actually called quality of life is the quality of life research, which just gives you some research targets, which will give you like more inventory size and stuff like that. But that's basically it.
Okay. Yeah, I have quality of life research as well. One that definitely is important if you, as a listener, are interested in Pinedons is FNEI or recipe book. You would not really be able to play Pi without it. You need to be able to see what makes what and what uses what and what's used in what, and the base ability to do that in the tech tree and the inventory is just not good enough. So that one is almost required. Everything else, not so much. One mod that you guys will find very much missing from Bold Vikings list is a factory planner type mod. He doesn't have factory planner. He doesn't have hell mod. He doesn't use YAFC, which is yet another factorial calculator, which is a external software program. How do you get by without using any of those?
I just crunch the numbers.
He crunches the numbers. And so do you tend to build smaller kind of builds at a time because of that? Because you can't, obviously, like at some point you can't keep it all in your head.
Nah, I mean, the build process is usually quite simple. I mean, for example, any kind of ore processing, you just start off with like the first building, and then you just look at how many you need to get the recipe down to 1 per second. And then you go to the next stage of the craft, and then you go again onto the level of 1 per second crafts. And then you just mix and match them together, or you make pairs together where you then make blocks. Basically, I just split the whole recipe into multiple groups of 2, and then try to balance those multiple groups to 2 to make a perfect ratio, or assuming it's going to be a perfect ratio. And then after that, you go to the next level and group those pairs together again, and then you reach at some point in time the final build, and then you can more or less see what you need. And you can easily do that with ghosts. I mean, you just put like some ghosts down of the buildings that you need. You figure out the ratio, just shuffle things together until you got it together. And then once you got it all shuffled together, you got the ratio in front of you, and then you can make decisions if you want to cut out some buildings or maybe move some stuff around that it fits better. And then you get to it.
Yeah. Do you use max rate calculator or rate calculator?
No.
So you're doing the math of like looking at the recipe in FNEI and seeing, okay, it produces 5 every 3 seconds. So that's really like 1 2/3 per second.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, usually when you've got something that produces like, say, once every 3 seconds, you put 3 machines down. That's going to make it 1 per second. And then the next machine that requires it, that goes for like, it may need like 2 every other second, or 1 every 2 seconds. So you put down 2 of them, so you get it to 1 per second, and then you got your natural 3-to-2 ratio, and you're done. And then you move to the next step.
yeah, that works. That works. That it is. It's interesting because as far as I'm sure other people play that way too, but most of what I read about, at least in the Discord and on Reddit, is people using factory planner mods, even for far simpler, applications than Pinedons. And as far as I know, you're the only person who plays Pinedons without using any of those tools. So it's just really interesting to hear from you, kind of like how your process works, because I think a lot of us are like, what? How do you not? And I think some of it is you're more comfortable with things either not being perfect or maybe overbuilding sometimes. I think a lot of people are wanting to not have any waste. And so they're like, well, I don't want to build too many of this thing. And so I'll just make sure to plan out the perfect ratios. And like you've said, in Pinedons, the perfect ratio often isn't attainable anyway.
Especially once you get to production modules, and then things just go completely out of whack.
Right. Because then you've got an extra 8% on this step, which has maybe 3 or 4 steps before it gets here. So that one ends up being, maybe boosted by 50% by the time it gets to the recipe you're looking at. And the other thing only has 1 layer of productivity. And so you've got all the different multiples going on. Yeah, it's a big mess.
Yes, and also sometimes you just take the trade-off, because sometimes you got like something like a 5-to-9 ratio or something like that, and you go like 5-to-9. Oh, that makes no sense. Just turn it into 4 to 8 and you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. 1 to 2 is the same as 5 to 9, right? Close enough.
More or less.
Yeah. Yeah, and close enough, in quotes, as well as good enough, in quotes, is very much a necessary attitude in Pionodons. I think, what do they say? Perfection is the enemy of good enough. Perfect is the enemy of good enough.
Every perfect machine breaks the moment something changes, and things change quite often. In fact, in Pionodons, you get a new recipe or something like that, and suddenly that perfect machine you've spent hours in making doesn't work no more. It's immediately broken.
Exactly.
So if you just make something that is robust and just does the thing, and you're fine. Now, one thing you do have to keep in mind, I mean, making an assumption like 5 to 9 is almost 1 to 2. That works for one layer, but if you've got like 8 layers, that small assumption can have repercussions down the line, so you should be careful with those decisions.
Yep,
it's
and
the same
usually,
with Pop-Ups, just in reverse.
And that's where overbuilding rather than underbuilding is always a good thing.
Yeah, like if you've got a fraction, just add one more and you're fine. And that one building at the end, well, it will not work all the time, so be it.
Yeah. One other thing, that you said that sparked a thought about Pionodons that a lot of people don't either know about Pionodons that I think they would really like. One of the aspects that gives you more productivity in Pionodons is not just productivity modules, but often as you go throughout the tech tree, you unlock new recipes that make the same product, and they're way more complicated, but overall, it's a much more efficient recipe. So something like iron plates is a good example. You start out and you can smelt 8 iron ore into 1 plate. It's a horrible ratio. But once you get the first science pack unlocked, you can do a research, and it unlocks the ability to throw the iron ore into a crusher, and then you have processed iron ore, and that ends up giving you a ratio that's much closer to, I think, 5 to 1, 5 iron ore to a plate or something like that. And
5 to 1.
Yeah, and then in the next science pack, you gain the ability to start using some melting processes and use molten iron, and then again, you get more plates per iron ore for the work that you have to put into it of adding more buildings, and sometimes you have to add in like catalysts, or you have to use sand casting, or what have you. And this applies to more than just the ore recipes. It really applies to a lot of the animal recipes and plant recipes. There's a lot of different things in Pionodons where you really get to progress how you make something as you go throughout the game. So you're not just building blocks of buildings for new things. You're also, when you get new research, going back and rebuilding your old things, not just to be bigger, but to be better and different and more complex. And I think that's one of the fun parts about Pionodons is you kind of keep bouncing back and forth between upgrading the old stuff, re-implementing the old stuff, sometimes making more of what you're already making, but usually you're doing something new. And I think that's pretty fun. So, one last question I have about Pionodons before we move on. What would you say is your favorite building if you had to pick? And I know this is a hard question to put you on the spot.
My favorite building in Pionodons. I guess it's the reproduction plant because it comes with smooth jazz.
yes, it has the mood lighting and the mood music for the.
So at some point in time, you get the cat farms, and they come with disco music. And then by far the best utility building, of course, is going to be the logistic worm. But we're probably never going to build that because it's so far down the tech tree that we'll probably even never get to it. But yeah, the reproduction plant, definitely.
That's awesome. Yeah, so all that to say, Pionodons is awesome. Y'all should go check it out. Definitely, if you're interested, in having a very long challenge, a difficult challenge, but a rewarding one, I would check out Pionodons. If you're looking for shorter mod packs, Pi is not it. There are some other mod packs that are great to try. I would personally recommend Nullius as one that is beatable in a reasonable amount of time, but still more complex than vanilla if you want something a little shorter. But yeah, Pionodons is a great time sink and something if you really want to, I don't know, just be rewarded for large builds. And it is worth noting, a lot of people do struggle with UPS towards the end game. Their updates per second sometimes lag a little. So, if you have a potato computer, Pionodons might not be for you. But, that's true of a lot of big mod packs. Any last thoughts on Pionodons before we move on to some viewer questions?
Only that I still blame not melon.
Fair enough. Yep. Not melon is the reason for all of your troubles. For balancing things and bad recipes, just go yell at him in the Discord for Pionodons. Awesome. So a couple of viewer questions that I've had over the last few weeks that I think could be interesting to get your take on as well. One viewer, Alor, mentioned that there's a lot of story and lore potential in Factorio that really hasn't been investigated at all, right? Vanilla Factorio, you're crash landed, next to your spaceship, and that's it. There's zero lore, there's zero exposition, there's zero story. But what they've spoiled so far about one of the planets, Fulgora, is that there's these ruins of an ancient civilization. And what he was asking is, do you think they will, or should they add any story elements to the game? Or should they keep it just kind of this vague, like, this civilization existed, but we don't know anything about it?
It's kind of interesting if you think about it. I mean, Factorio is one of those games that has no story whatsoever, yet it's being played so much by so many people. And all the things they always do is like they crash land on the planet and they just start harvesting everything out of the planet. Like they try to get everything processed and everything resourced. Putting a story on that is definitely going to be tricky. I mean, think of Satisfactory as well. They are also trying to make some kind of story on top of your automation game, and it's not going to be that easy. Especially once you start putting a story on top of it, people need to be able to connect to that story. Yes, I mean, you could probably imagine that maybe the Factorio guy is some kind of explorer or something like that, just going out there to figure out what's on those remote planets. Who knows?
Yeah. My thought is that they could add a little bit of almost what Outer Wilds has done. And I don't want to say too much about Outer Wilds because that is a game where spoilers will ruin the entire game for you. So I won't add spoilers. I'll just say that the story in that game is done through the lens of investigating the past, right? Rather than having a story about what's going on with you right now and your world, you kind of are uncovering a story about what's happened. And I think they could do that with like the Fulgora civilizations, where maybe there's not so much a huge story about what's going on with you right now, but maybe you find out some things about the ancient civilization, and then maybe that connects to something you find on a different planet, and then maybe that all connects together on the final planet you go to. I could see a story like that working out a little better, because then they don't have to give a ton of exposition about you as the engineer and what your role is, but more just kind of, oh, there are these cool ancient things that you're finding out.
Yeah, that could work.
One other question, and this is kind of an interesting one that I'm sure is very much opinion-based, but it's about hotkeys. Dr. Stitches was asking, like, what should be bound to a hotkey? If you could bind something to a hotkey that can't currently be bound to a hotkey, what would it be? Which ones do you never use? Like, for mod makers, how do you decide what a hotkey should be? I know in Minecraft, this is really bad. Like, a lot of hotkeys end up combating each other. And so half the game when you start a mod pack in Minecraft is just setting your hotkeys correctly.
I think the only hotkey I really use in Factorio is Q. That's the only one.
And that's the pipette, right?
That's a pipette tool, yeah, because usually when you're building something, whatever you're building is most likely already close by to what you're building. So Q helps. Q just does everything for you. I mean, there's of course the hotkey for the jetpack, and the best key ever, C, especially if you've got nukes equipped.
Which one is that? Is that shoot?
That's just shoot on point.
Yes.
And if you've got nukes equipped, well, yeah, accidents have happened quite often.
Yeah, I saw a clip not that long ago of accidental nukage of your base.
Especially if Control C is right next to it and you just miss Control C and then you just nuke yourself, or you press Control F not entirely and then you want to look for something that contains the C and then you hear the missile going off and you go like, oh, yeah.
Have you considered rebinding shoot to a different key?
Yes, and I will not do it because it's fun.
So it's a calculated mistake.
Yep.
That's funny.
It's the expected thing that will happen.
I love it. Yeah, for me, I think hotkeys are actually really important. Again, I think this kind of goes with our quality of life mentality, like how you and I approach the game differently. I love to be as efficient as possible with the gameplay itself. And so, like, I don't want to have to push extra hotkeys if I can manage it. I like all the shortcuts. I like them all to be reachable with my left hand. And so I do spend quite a bit of time trying to figure out what hotkey goes where. Even recently, I realized spacebar. I don't shoot things that often. Half the time I'm playing without biters. So why would I want shoot to be bound to spacebar? I should do something more useful with spacebar. And I still haven't quite figured out what that is. I recently changed it to entering and exiting vehicles, but I still think I could do better. So yeah, I think hotkeys are a very interesting topic. And as a mod maker, I think if I had one recommendation, it would be to download a suite of mods that you think would be used alongside your mod, and then do your best to create a hotkey that either A, makes sense because the letter starts with, like if you're doing a blueprint tool, the B key makes a lot of sense. But right now, B is already taken up by a lot of things. So you may have to use a random letter or shift plus a letter or control plus a letter. But whatever you do, at least download some of the other mods that you would expect people to play along with your mod and try to avoid conflicts with those. Obviously, there's only 26 letters on the keyboard and shift, control, and alt. So that, you end up with only so many combinations. And at some point, you're going to run into conflicts. But avoiding the most common conflicts, I think, is a good thing to shoot for. Let's see. One other small question. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is a good one specifically about Pynodons. With most automation games, the infrastructure of what you build is kind of an afterthought, right? Like the cost of the buildings themselves. Like in Vanilla Factorio, for example, an assembler is not very expensive. Even an assembler 3, once you've automated its ingredients, it's not very expensive. You never really have to worry about plopping down 20 assemblers because they're not that expensive. However, that's not true in things like Pynodons. So how do you balance the cost of infrastructure, which is belts and power poles and buildings and all the bits and bobs that you actually place into the world, against the cost of recipes that go towards things like science or consumables? What do you find is a good balance for that?
Well, infrastructure costs in Pi are still not that high. I mean, the buildings that require a lot of stuff usually also are required in the production of science and everything. So you would already have those requirements automated, and you just bring them in via a train or via a bot.
Sure. I would say though they're definitely quite a bit higher in Pi than most other mod packs. So for example, and I know I'm in a different stage of the game than you, so it might be true that at the stage of the game you're in, the costs aren't as large relative to what you're making. But I was just starting to make a molten salt power plant, and each of those buildings, each of the coal power plant buildings requires, I think, 100 circuits, and I'm only making, I think, about 15 circuits a minute, right? And so that's 6 minutes of circuit production per building. And so if I'm going to make a build that requires 20 of these, we're talking 2 hours worth of circuit production just for my power plant. That's far more than you would find in vanilla, and I think it's interesting because when you switch to something like Pynodons, you do realize, oh, things are really expensive, but you have to change your scale in your mind. 1 minute of production in Pi is not that much because you're playing for dozens of hours, right?
Yes, and that's also usually how we go at it most of the time. I mean, if you need something, just start automating it. Even if it goes slow, you're still at least making it so you can use it. You don't really need to make certain products super duper fast, because you will notice that you actually don't even need that many of them, especially if you're playing it for multiple hours at a time. But what's like an issue for like maybe making one per minute is gonna be still like about 240 the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I find interesting is that infrastructure is a cost, but it's a cost of something that's unlimited, right? Like circuits are unlimited. Technically your ore patches are limited, but in Pi, everybody cranks them up pretty big. So not really limited, but things like space aren't unlimited, right? And so, well, at least in terms of what you can traverse, the bigger your base gets, the harder it is to get around your base and the further items have to travel. So space is a limited resource in the sense that if you can pack buildings together tighter, or make your build smaller, or if the building was a 5x5 building instead of a 23x23 building, then you would be able to fit more of them in. So I find something interesting that Pyanodons does by making such large buildings is they do cause you to think more about space and like which direction is this belt going. In Vanilla Factorio, you don't really care if it's going left or right because it's only 15 squares either way. But in Pyanodons, if you've got a belt going along 20 buildings, it might be 200, units long, and it very much matters where the end of that belt ends up. And, Satisfactory has some limited resources as well with things like power shards. So the infrastructure in Satisfactory, well, it all costs a relatively small amount of stuff that you can make infinite of once you've automated it, but you only get so many things, or you only get so many power slugs to make power shards out of. And so different games find different ways to, maybe they don't make the infrastructure itself very expensive, but they find other ways to kind of keep the player from just having infinite creative ability to build from the early game. And I think that's an important question to kind of ask yourself as you're designing a mod or a game, is like which resources are unlimited, but maybe a little slower to get, but still unlimited, and which resources are actually limited, and the player cannot just make infinite of this. Any other thoughts on that, Bold, or
just double it?
Double it. Double it again. Yeah, wasn't that an old Blizzard meme? Like we doubled it and then we doubled it again or something?
Maybe. I'm not really keeping up with Blizzard.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking like 10 years ago. There was a meme at some point about that. Anyway, Bold, do you have any other big thoughts before we start to wrap up?
No, I think I'm good. I also have to go to the bathroom.
Well, it's been so awesome having you on. For those that don't know, Bold Viking is part of a streaming community called Red Circuit. And a long time ago, which, well, I guess it was only like 2 years ago, I reached out to Bold Viking to ask if I could join as well. And so Bold Viking is a very special streamer to my heart because he invited me into the Red Circuit community and helped me find a bunch of other streamers and content creators who could answer a lot of my questions, and just kind of, it's nice to have a community of people who are asking similar things and figuring out similar problems, whether it's with OBS or Twitch or YouTube or whatever. It's a lot of chaos out there, and it's good to have a community to talk with. And so I just want to thank you, Bold, for that invitation so long ago. You've been awesome.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
Yeah. So,
and I also always like to explain stuff. I mean, if people ask me stuff, I always go like, here, let me explain it for you. And then 2 hours pass and you go like, shit, I wanted to do something else.
Yeah, the curse of being helpful. But I've appreciated your inputs and everyone else at Red Circuit. So yeah, if you guys are looking for other streamers to watch, you can check out the Red Circuit group. There will be a link in the show notes, as well as you can head to Bold Viking's Twitch page or my Twitch page, and we're both part of that group in Twitch. And I think if you click on that link, it'll show you all of the streamers who are part of that group. So that's pretty cool. I know we've got some other people who play Satisfactory and some other factory games, and I'll hope to have them on the podcast as well. But yeah, shout out to a new patron for the Factory Must Grow podcast, Jonathan C. Thank you so much. And if you would like to become a patron, head over to patreon.com/Krydax. That'll support both the podcast as well as my content creation on Twitch. Bold, what about you? If people would like to support you, how can they do that?
Well, of course, I think I also got a Patreon page, but I'm not really doing the Patreon game that good. But if you do want to support me on Patreon, it's, I think, just patreon.com/BoldViking. But also, of course, twitch.tv/BoldViking and youtube.com/BoldViking. You'll find me everywhere. Yeah, there's another Bold on YouTube, but ignore him. He's stupid.
Yeah, there's the same for Krydax on one of the. Is it on? I don't remember which platform.
There's a second Krydax on Twitch, now on YouTube, because you're Krydax 8 on YouTube.
Yes, that's right.
And the original Krydax has 0 subscribers and just sits there and goes like,
"Yep, yep, wonderful." Someday I hope to be able to get him removed somehow, because he's not a real person, or at least he doesn't do anything if he is. But all that to say, next week we'll stream the cast at the same time. Not sure if we have a guest or not yet. We'll find out. But huge thanks to you, Bold Viking, for being here. You've already talked about where people can find you on social media, so go give Bold a follow and a sub on Twitch if you don't mind. He's been going very far in Pyanodons and Greg Tech, and just very, very pleasurable to hang out and watch Bold Viking. He's got a great crew of Twitch viewers who are in his channel, and it's always a lot of fun. So definitely head over there. if you guys have any questions or ideas for topics or ideas for guests, you can always hit me up in the Crydania Discord, which, of course, I'll put in the show notes. Other than that, any last thoughts, Bold?
No, I'm good. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday.
Beautiful. Yes, and all of you listeners, enjoy your Sunday as well. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. And always remember, the factory must grow.
Until then.
Awesome. Thanks again, Bold. That was great. That was a lot of fun.
Are we still live?
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm still live on Twitch. I stopped the recording.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, you need to get out of here and go take your bathroom break and enjoy your Sunday, right?
Yes. Thank you so much for that, and have a good one. Until next time.
You
Bye.
too, Bold. See ya. All right. Well, that was great. A lot of fun hanging out with Bold Viking. I knew it would be. All right, so yeah, bathroom ninja, exactly. As far as this stream, I am going to take a little bit of a break myself, get some water, go to the bathroom, and maybe stretch my body a little bit. And then I'm just going to play a little bit of modded Minecraft myself. Recently got a little bit of the itch for Minecraft, and I'm playing a little bit of Ultimate Alchemy right now. I'm still not sure how much I like it, but we're going to play it a little bit just to hang out. And so I will do that here in a minute. Let me turn on some chill music for you guys at least. Okay. Whoa. That needs to be higher. There we go. Okay, I will be back in about 5 minutes. See you guys soon. are back. So let's change this over. Oh, why am I gone? Why does it do this? Yes, no. There we are. Okay, let's find. Minecraft. Close that. Move that over there. Minimize that. Minimize that. So many windows. Oh my goodness. All right. Why is that? Oh, okay. Never mind. It looked like my I was floating off of the screen, but I'm not. That was just in the Twitch view. Okay, so I need to turn on the Minecraft screen because that's not showing up. Window capture. That's Discord. That's Twitch. Oh God. Oh, what have I done? Where's... Oh, it's just not there. This one? There it is. There it is. Okay, we got an F11 here. Oh, of course, now that breaks it. No, that works. Okay, cool. All right, Dave, you just posted your... Oh, it's not a big deal. I was just trying to explain why, like, I was coming where I was coming from. Oh, I just stopped Spotify on accident. It's really not. It's not a huge deal. No need to apologize, and all is forgiven. So, for those who don't know, Ultimate Alchemy is a mod pack in Minecraft where the goal is to make a single clay. That's right, one clay is all you need. It's a sky block, and I honestly don't know a ton about Minecraft and modded Minecraft, so that's about all I can tell you. I've got some things done, and I don't know most of what I'm doing, which is part of the fun. Part of the frustration, which is what Dave was referencing in the apology, is I've been trying to figure out, like, some things are really hard to figure out in JEI, and it's not necessarily easy to figure out, like, exactly how you end up doing that. Even if you can figure out one of the steps, you can't really figure out all the way to the bottom of it, like what you actually do to get there. And I think that's part of what I've struggled with, is like I might be able to figure out, like, one thing I have found is required in a bunch of recipes is Invar, which is a mixture of nickel and iron, I think. Is that right? Yeah, nickel and iron. And you can do that in the alloy kiln or the arc furnace, or more easily you can alloy it in the smeltery. So I'm like, okay, well, that's easy. I've got iron. All we got to do is get some molten nickel. And then you look into that and you're like, well, molten nickel comes from melting nickel. Okay, so that's not helpful. And then you look, and we'll get back to the one I just saw in a second. But, you know, then you look at, like, well, how can I make a nickel ingot? And there's really no ways to make it that aren't already, you know, in some form using nickel. Other than this one, you can induction smelt iron ore with cinnabar, but then you're like, well, how do I get cinnabar? And it leads you down these rabbit holes of, like, is that even possible at this stage? Is that reasonable? I don't know. And the machine you need to do this in the first place requires Invar. So, you know, you start to get into all these rabbit holes, right? I do think the best way to do it is going to be this fractionating still, because that literally just turns molten iron into molten nickel, which I don't know exactly how that works, but that's great. So there you go. The problem is the fractionating still needs nickel grit or pulverized nickel. So that's a thing. So it's like you need nickel to make nickel. And as far as I can tell, the best way to get nickel is by putting into a pulverizer, which we can make, an iron ore block. You get a 10% chance at a pulverized nickel. So as far as I can tell, that is the only way to get your first nickel. I might be wrong about that, and that's the thing, is like, because I don't have a ton of experience with all these mods, I'm like, is that the only way? I'm not really sure. I think that's the only way. But yes. Anyway, Dave, where's my metal automation? So the short answer is I haven't automated very much stuff because I'm mainly just trying to figure out stuff. This is more the figure outy stage than the automate and actually make a good base stage. So I've really just got a little bit of everything all over the place. Like I was trying to figure out even grid power, like how do I, you know, deal with that? And the resonator can make some things. So the resonator can make stone burnt, which is using a bunch of stuff. And other than that, I don't think I really need any of the other stuff right now. Oh, you can make the black quartz. Yeah, we needed the black quartz for some stuff, because then you smelt that into black quartz, and then you use that to make iron casings, or I thought there was one other thing I needed it for, but now I've forgotten. It might have just been, oh, it was the basic coils. What did I need the basic coils for? I don't remember. A crusher. That's what we needed it for. Yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff I really don't know what I'm doing. And that's part of the fun. Yeah, I have learned that grid power is global, and I've also learned, weirdly, if you, let's see. Like if I put, oh, I don't remember, is it cobblestone? Anyway, if I put something in there and it gets stuck because I don't have power, it'll turn off all my other machines because my grid power is blocked. So that's kind of annoying and funny. But yeah, so I finally did get these iron ore blocks. The way you get these is you cast molten iron on top of a regular stone block. And so now I can throw those in the pulverizer, which I also got made. And I have a 10% shot at a nickel. So I'm probably going to need more than just the one. Now, the other thing is I don't know how to get the iron out of here. If there is a way, somebody let me know, because I think you just have to do that. Unless there's a way to get it out. A bucket does not work. And so I need to melt down more iron in my smeltery. Which I probably need to make bigger, but, you know, again, this is just the me figuring stuff out stage of the game. I've made bricks, which come from gravel. Everything that involves clay is a little bit different because clay is the goal. And so, obviously, you don't use clay as an ingredient. And yeah, so you need a bunch of stuff to make the clay. You need a diamond, a wither skeleton skull, lapis, cobblestone, and wood. That one's easy. You start with infinite of those. Everything else, not so easy. We are close to a grass block. I finally figured out the grass block thing. I do have the carpenter. Dirt is going to have to be made with this recipe. As far as I can tell, I can't do this recipe because it requires liquid dirt. And I don't understand this farming thing. Like, I don't get this yet. I do realize that you have to do a farm block. I did some Googling. So I am going to have to make a farm block, but then this is a recipe that I also don't understand because this one says deprecated. And so I think to get these, I have to do this recipe. So I think I have to make this thing. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of... A bucket does not work. A bucket only works if there's a full bucket's worth. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Let me make sure there's enough here. But yeah, like if I close that and there's some in here, a bucket does not grab it. So as far as I can tell, there's no way to get part of it out. And yes, I think this is a 1.12 pack. Crazy Mage. As far as I know. And I don't think the thermal tank works. I tried this. Let me get the water out of it first. I think I tried this. I wasn't able to pick stuff up with it. It just places. Oh, you gotta switch modes. How do you switch modes? Is it crouch, click? No? In by default. It's not doing anything. Well, if it's doing anything, it's not telling me it's doing anything. Thermal. See, this is the kind of stuff that like not knowing a lot about Minecraft makes really hard. How do you... There is no thermal category. Also wrench. You say that, Dave. I looked a while back into making wrenches. There's not an easy wrench to make. Unless I missed one. There's not one that's just like iron or something. Or copper. That one needs wool. Which is hard. Crescent hammer? Wait, did I miss one? Oh, crescent hammer doesn't have the word wrench in it. That's why. Ah, there it is. God, see, this is the kind of stuff, like, right? Like, I didn't know to look for that. I could have had a wrench ages ago. Anyway, okay, so that's there. Is orange mode a different mode? Or is that the same thing? It doesn't seem to do anything. I think blue is in. COFH keybinds? Okay. Cough. Cycle item mode is V. That's not doing it either. Oh, P. I can place it on the ground. That's a thing. Oh, interesting. It won't auto grab when it's a placed item. E again? What? P again doesn't do anything. Oh, just right click it. You can put a Tinker's Faucet on the basin and the tank one. Oh, I see what you're saying. I could put a tank and then faucet out of it. Yeah, I guess that's an option. At some point, though, it's just easier to lose a little bit of iron and do this. I more was wanting a way to just yoink something out of it with whatever I'm holding in my hand. And that still seems like it's not possible, unfortunately. Anyway. Oh no! See, I forgot the thing. Well, I'll just let it fill up. You smelt more iron. Yeah, the other hard part is all the different versions, because you guys know lots of things, but it may or may not be from this version of the mod or whatever. I'll just let that block of iron solidify. Comment about multiple faucets. No, I don't think so. Okay, we did not. Can you melt the pulverized iron? You can. Okay, I can just throw that back in here. Now, I am losing iron on this exchange, right? We're turning 9 iron into 1 ore, which only creates 2 pulverized iron. But we get a chance at the nickel, which is what we need. I could probably melt the block too, right? Instead of routing with channels, 1 faucet per basin. Yeah, I mean, that works. This is not slow enough for me to care right now, I don't think. I would definitely do it differently if I wanted faster. This is just me figuring stuff out. Nope. No nickel. No nickels, no dimes. The other thing that I'm curious about is what can you fuel the smeltery with? It's not entirely clear to me what the allowed fuels are. Like, obviously lava works, but I don't really know what else works. Does it tell me in the book? The good book? Where's the book? Don't look at this chest, please. No, that's not the one. Where's the Tinker's one? Is it that one? I thought I made a Tinker book. Or had a Tinker book. Am I making that up? I might be making that up. There it is. Is this the right book? No. Oh, there. Smeltery. It also requires few. Nope, doesn't tell me. Lava and pyrotheum. Usually any fluid with a heat value. Yeah, Dave. I realize if I put the basin right there, it would just dump into the basin. But this is already here, so why change it? It is kind of annoying. I guess I need to... How do I fix this? Well, I guess one way to fix it would be doing what Dave is talking about, because then there wouldn't be leftovers in the channel, but it's fine. I only need a 10% chance to get my nickel. And then once we have 1 nickel, we're good to go. I also don't know what this is all about. Okay, I know it's an end portal. Like, I'm not that stupid, but why is there an end portal here? What is the ancient barrier? Why can't I mine it? I can go underneath, and then there's these that I can break, but should I break it? You know, there's just so many little things I don't know anything about. Oh, okay, that doesn't change anything. I wondered if I could get in that way. Hidden secret, the goal is to find out. And that's great, but I don't know that, right? Like there, you know, there's this, I don't know what I don't know, and that is a very dangerous, unfortunate reality for me. Now, one other thing, I need to make some more strings because there's lots of things that wool will get me. And to get that, I need, and like I said, don't look at this base. Everybody stop looking. I can feel the judgment. I forget. How do I do this? I need sticks. Right, okay. So I take... Now, the thing I do need help with, potentially, is power routing, because it's not, I've tried searching for power and cable and wire, and I've only found 2 ways, and one of them is expensive and I don't like the other one. So I found these little wire connector things, and then I found the Ender IO conduits, which are what I used a lot of in Noma Factory. But these are expensive-ish because of the conductive iron, and I don't really have an easy way. You can't alloy this, and so I think the only way I can make it is with an induction smelter, which, as we've already talked about, requires nickel from Invar, and I haven't gotten there yet. Ducts. Okay, see, I didn't know to search for duct. That's helpful. Aha. So, leadstone flux duct, is that what we're talking about? Yeah. Can these do items, too? Item duct. Oh, cool. I don't think I've ever seen these in the other mod packs I've played. Hardened. Requires Invar. I assume, yeah, it can transfer more. Okay. Can I do fluids in those too? I assume. Flux duct is for power. Fluid duct. There it is. So that's what we need. Copper and glass. Oh, that's so easy. Yeah, I do like Ender IO. Now the question is also, what, can I get some sort of pump? Should I make this? Mana, not a mana pump. Like, I don't know what pump to pump this water with. I don't know what else to even search for other than pump. Pump jack, that's probably way more expensive. Aqueous accumulator. Does that just make free water? Yeah, that looks like it makes free water. Glass, iron, that's very cheap. Does this pack have integrated dynamics? It has these things from integrated dynamics, yes. I don't know what any of that is. But anyway, I need to feed water to this thing. So that's what I was thinking to do. So, aqueous accumulator device frame. I haven't had to make one of those actually. Copper gear. Device frame. Oh, I'm out of iron. Do I have more? Yeah, we got more. Dave is just cringing at how little I've automated. Where's your automation? I'm kind of on the like build one of everything phase right now, rather than like automate everything. So what does mineral do for me? Is it these energy batteries? Is that what the main idea is? Or the generators? Or what exactly do I need any of this for? Oh, I actually do need the drying basin for something. I do know that. Oh, it can transfer... Wait, but that's thermodynamics. Wait, what about this can transfer everything on one? Is there a pipe in here somewhere? Oh, that thing, the logic cable? Oh, okay. We're talking about a different add-on, I guess. Oh, I did the thing again. All right, still no nickel. Come on, 20% chance again. And I'm over here because water. So you're telling me if I do something like this... This is like the ugliest base I've ever made, and I'm very proud of it. Like, I'm proud of how ugly it is. I'm almost trying to make it uglier at this point. So you're telling me if I plop water here and here, then I get water out. Got it. Did I get it? Nope. Again. Fine. This is just for you, Dave. Oh, I have to pick them up before they show up. sure to put the floor as a different material just for that nice unmatching vibe. I think I have another faucet somewhere. Am I making that up? Well, I got plenty of brick. Faucet. Yeah. Wait, is that one not part of it? I thought it was. Oh, there's the other faucet. Found it. Oh, I need to put in a drain. Duh. My bad. There's also a drain up there too. I knew I had made another one. Okay. There we go. And do we have enough? No, we don't. Okay, I really need some more iron. Let's get that going. I don't hate Create. I think you've amplified my feelings over time, Dave. I did get really into it for a minute. Like, some of the aspects of Create are really cool. But there was also some aspects I just didn't quite get into. I could probably get into it more if I try again. All right, so once you get one of those melted, one other thing I was gonna ask. Oh shoot, what was it? We talked about water. We talked about conduits. There's one other big thing that I like kept not being able to figure out. I don't remember what it was. Shoot. Okay, well, whatever. Let's make some of those ducts, which I needed copper for. And glass? Question mark, I think. Hey, Dave, I'm actually less scared of FPS issues now because I have a bit more of a monster PC than I used to. So there's a little bit less fear now that I think my computer can handle it. Okay. Yeah, you're right. The fear level is the same, but my confidence that we won't run into the issue has increased. Yeah, so I made one of these circuit board things, but I don't totally understand like how to work farms. So that might be something I need some help with. I already forgot what I was just doing. Tubes. Flux ducts. Item fluid duct. There it is. Let's pin that. I'm going to remove all these pins because they're all just random garbage that I don't really actually need. Okay, so we'll make a few of those. And then I should be able to go bloopy, 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 blue. And then it works? No. Do we have to do some wrenching? That wasn't it. Oh, you know what? That's the front of the building. Why you no rotate? Well, I guess I can just come at the top, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't know why it wouldn't let me rotate it. That was kind of weird. Maybe a crescent hammer can't rotate? I don't actually know. Alright, so now we have water supplied to this, and then we got a bunch of dead bushes, and then we turn those dead bushes into live bushes. So, Dave, are those like the covers from the Greg Tech machines? Is that the same vibe? Okay, so one thing I would like to do is learn the basics of Thaumcraft, Botania, and Forestry Farms, because I think those are things I might need to beat the pack, and I kind of want to at least understand how to get started. So somebody mentioned, Dave, you mentioned a crystal, but when I looked at all these crystals, I like couldn't figure out how to get any of them, and so I kind of gave up. But you're telling me there's a pink one I can make? Because my understanding was I needed one of these, and then I had to go to sleep after having one of these. When I did some Googling. So Salus, I did look at that, and that needs lavender quartz. Which needs a bunch of stuff. That's confusing. So there's the Botania stuff. But don't I need one of the crystals? Or did I misunderstand the YouTube video I was watching? I thought I needed one of these first. And you mine these in the world, and so that's kind of why I was confused. Okay, now these saplings... What do I do again? Oh, you know what? While I'm here, I can make with these... I'm gonna need a lot of leaves. Whoa! That's so cool. I didn't know they left you with the dead bushes. That's neat. So I can just keep regrowing the leaves on them. Neato. The reason I need leaves is to make compost, which will get me a dirt. Or a grass. The dirt is a little trickier. I thought this would work, but then I realized it needs liquid dirt, which of course needs dirt in the first place. So that doesn't work. Oh, so normally you need the crystals to make Salus Mundus? I thought you needed the crystals to make, just to start the, like, quest, so to speak. But yeah, the only way you can make dirt is this. Liquid dirt needs no dirt? What? Oh. I had completely missed this recipe. I think I looked at all 4 of these and not that one. Because I saw it needs podzol, but I need dirt for podzol. It needs mud bricks, which of course are just liquid dirt. And then it also is mud bricks, which is mud bricks. But this, what is water of life? Water. And... So what exactly is this saying? It's saying I need all of these to make this one thing. See, this is a very confusing readout. It's hard to tell what's actually an ingredient and what's a out ingredient. It was the same thing with... So I need all 3 of these. Okay. Because, like, it looks like this is going to that... Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing. In this readout, too, when it was showing water over here, I thought water was an output. Because there's an arrow that goes out. And so I thought it was telling me that, like, these recipes output water. But in reality, they need water as an input. So that was not super clear from the get-go. Okay, well, this is going to be a lot easier now that I know that I don't have to keep making more dead bushes. So, Botania, how do I get started with that? I did make the book, and I read some stuff, and then I realized we need flowers, and I think what I realized is I'm going to need grass for that. I'm hoping that grass will magically just happen to grow flowers if I get lucky. Kind of, I don't know. if that's how it works or not. But I'm gonna need 18 leaves to make 2 compost. But you need flowers to make floral fertilizer is the problem. At least that's what it was telling me. So it's not 4 of any dye, it's 4 of floral powder, which only comes from flowers. It's not any dye. It's specifically floral powders. Yeah, that's bone meal, but these are not just any dye. Right? At least that's what this is telling me. Unless it just magically works if I put different colored dyes over here. Not to mention bone meal's not easy. I don't know how to make peat yet. And as far as I can tell, there's no other way to make bone meal. It's all just bones. Now, of course, there's always a Thaumcraft way to make it, but that has yet to be begun. So it's either peat or Thaumcraft. So I can probably figure this out once we have the dirt thing going. Mulch is made somehow. Moisten decaying wheat? How do I get decaying wheat? Oh god, this is all so confusing. Okay, let me continue on with this. These coal generators are a godsend. At first I had only built these survival generators because I didn't know there was better stuff. That's the other thing, like the game has like 5 different generators you can make at the beginning, and it's like which one's the best, and yeah, it's a mess. Okay, grass can be centrifuged into all of the petals. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, so I need to make one of these, which we can do. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, Crazy Mage, this pack has definitely messed with a lot of the defaults for sure. Yeah, Alor, you're not wrong. It's pretty frustrating, and I think it's one of those things that if you've been playing modded Minecraft, you know, for 10 years straight, you don't even really notice it anymore because you know a lot of the ins and outs. But when you don't know the ins and outs, it's pretty opaque. It's very hard to see through, and if you don't know the right ways to look for things, you're not gonna find them. I have liked, that's one of the reasons I think I've liked Nomi Factory so much, is that it has the quest book that does a really good job of guiding you through what to do next. And it helps you know where to look. Because in this mod, it's kind of like, okay, there's a Thaumcraft way to make everything, but I don't even know what Thaumcraft is and if I should focus on it now or not. You know what I mean? And so there's this sense of like, is that even something that matters? Like, sure, there's this way to make it, but for all I know, Thaumcraft is the last thing you do, and it's really hard to set up, and it requires a bunch of other materials I don't have yet. I don't know that, you know, and so it's like, if you don't know even what it is in the first place, it makes it even harder to know what you should be trying to look into doing. So it's like, I could YouTube and Google how to do Thaumcraft for 3 hours to finally learn it's not even the route that I want to take. So that can be a little iffy with these packs. I didn't beat it, Crazy Mage, but I've started it a few times and gotten sort of not very far. Anyway, we need that centrifuge thing, so let's make that. Where were you? Okay, so I need the casing. I need some slab. Wait, oh no, wait. Does it need the fireproof slabs? Or can it be anything? It can be anything, okay. There was something earlier that needed fireproof. Or no, what was it? It was... Shoot, let me look at the rest of these real quick. Yeah, the other thing, I have no idea how honeycombs work, and like, am I actually able to get these? Because that's one way you can get nether quartz, is mellow combs, but I have no idea how difficult mellow combs are to get. So that's kind of an issue, right? Is like, I can see this in JEI, but that doesn't tell me. It's like in Magic the Gathering when the card doesn't explain the card. I think that happens a lot in JEI. Looking at the JEI does not explain the JEI. Like, I don't actually know what this means. And that is difficult. Anyway, I need slabs in a chest. My inventory is a mess. Just ignore bees, okay. But again, that's like an insider tip that I would have had no way of knowing without someone telling me. For all I know, that's exactly what I need to be doing. What am I doing? I need chests now. Just gonna make more of those. Now I need stairs. I know how to make stairs. I can do that. All right, I'll make 2 because I can. You love forestry. Oh, that's what it was. It was the impregnated casing requires forestry logs, specifically, not just like regular logs. And I can't do that until I have bees, as far as I can tell, because I need this wax for like all of these. Or I guess no, these ones I don't. But I need to be able to grow those trees somehow, and I don't know how to do that. So there's a lot of like, I don't understand anything about forestry, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, well, we're almost to grass block stage. Just need 18 leaves. It does not, Dave. Unless I did it wrong. I did try any log, because it says that in the thing. It says, no, see, it's not or dictionary log. Oh, it's the seed oil. I'm sorry. No, sorry. I figured that out. It's the seed oil that was the problem. Which I can't do because I don't have any seeds. Yep, now you're literally saying it right as I said it. Yeah, I forgot. That was the issue. At first, I thought the issue was that I needed fireproof wood. Then I realized the issue is I needed seed oil. Because it was hard to see over there. Anywho. Did we get nickel? No! Come on. We have 2. No. You know what I can do to make this less annoying is just do a bunch of these at the same time. I'm pretty sure I've done what? 8 or 10 now and still haven't gotten it. My 10% chance. yeah, it's a dangerous game to play. Having a friend play your mods. All right. Boom. Nope. Forgot the stone. Boom. At least that'll make a full one. Okay, I probably need another crate. So we can have 2 disorganized piles of goods. That'll do it. Okay, so the real reason I'm doing this, spoiler, is I'm probably gonna try making some recordings of this as a series. And so what I'm kind of trying to do is figure out enough of what's going on so that I can at least get myself through. So that's kind of what this is. This is learning time. And then once I learn, I can do. And I won't release it unless I end up making enough videos for it to be worth releasing. But I'll pre-record them. Yeah, Aguantan, I have played some modded Minecraft. It's not anywhere near as much as Factorio, but once in a while I get the desire and it looks fun and I do it. I don't need a cloud. Get out of here. Wait, what? Didn't I have one of these? Yeah, no, I get that, Dave. I understand why it's done, but it is objectively bad design when there's ways to make things that don't work or lead to dead ends. So, you know, as for whether or not it's worth doing is a different question. Like, how bad is it? You know, is it bad enough that it needs to be done? That's a reasonable question to ask. But it's definitely not not good for players like me. Okay, I just need more sand, actually. We done yet? There we go. 18. Boom, boom, boom. Now we can finally make 2 compost. Beautiful. And then what do I do again? Dirt. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now I need pulped biomass, which we need a sawmill for, and vines. Vines I can make out of saplings. And the sawmill needs planks, tin, iron, glass, blah, 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 blah. Why do I need what? The dirt recipe? Because this one doesn't work because I need the water of life, which I can't get yet because I don't have... I guess I could make another compost. Never mind. Yeah. At least then I don't have to do the coke thing to get the slag. Because the other way required me to get this slag from smelting something in the induction smelter, which needed the nickel invar chain. But if the water of life is the way... Oh, what did I just do? Then I need another machine. Which one do I need? Oh gosh, this is a big list. Which one was it? I already forgot. Was it the fermenter? Yes. Are you? Yes, there it is. There's the pulverized nickel. We got there. Yeah. Doing Feed the Beast Academy could be good. I don't remember if I tried it or not, actually. Now that it's being brought up. Cannot remember. Okay, what am I doing? I need to make the fermenter, which needs stone. I need the chests and slabs again. No, I've got slabs in here. Did I need pistons? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I need cobble to make stone gears. Not those stone gears. Need sticks. See, what? So shift right click doesn't just make one stack, it makes everything that's in the grid. I don't think there's a way to just make one stack, by the way. Yeah, I think Crazy Mage, what it comes down to is that I did just shift right clicks also. That's exactly what I did. Look, I show you. I show you again. Here we go. Shift right click. It makes everything in the grid. It does not stop at one stack. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's a difference in how the games play out, modded Minecraft versus Factorio. The Factorio overhauls are cohesive, right? Whereas Minecraft overhauls are kitchen sink. Now, to some level, I realize that that term means something very different, so don't at me, Dave. But essentially, what Minecraft does is it takes a bunch of different things and it smushes them together, and then it works to try to make it a cohesive experience, but it's still, at the core, is a bunch of different things smushed together, which is very different than Pyanodons, which is one thing. And yes, you have some minor content mods along the side, but that's nothing like what Factorio does. What Minecraft does. Sorry, what Minecraft does is it's like, oh, let's do angels, and let's do bobs, and let's do Pyanodons, and let's do space exploration, and let's do Crastorio, but let's try to make them all work nicely together. That's what Minecraft is, and it's far more confusing because there's 19 different ways to make an iron plate, and one of them is usually better than the rest. And so I think that is what makes it hard for me to stick with Minecraft sometimes. Anyway, I've digressed, and now I've run out of wood because also you made me shift right click a bunch of times. I blame you. Let me get some more wood. Okay. Also, can I make this thing stop popping up? This stupid... does that stop popping up if I get rid of it? Oh, thank God it does. Okay. I thought that was just now there forever. Yeah, you can do K2 SE. And Alor, the reason that works is because they're two mods that mostly do this. They're not doing this, right? They're not doing the same thing in different ways. They're doing different things. And so they fit together decently. Now, there are a few conflicts, and those have to get resolved, right? But it's not like what Minecraft is doing, where it's like, oh, we have 3 different mods that all have their own version of how you generate power, how you transmit power, and how power is used. Like, Minecraft is like, oh, let's all have our own version of power. Anyway, I'm not going to go on another hell mod rant, don't worry. Wait, didn't I just make sturdy casings? Am I that goldfish? I am. I made 8 of those. I've already forgotten. Oh, God. This is... You know, maybe I'll make some extra stone gears, too, so I can forget that I have those. Alright. Minecraft Hell mod isn't really a thing. Definitely nothing anywhere near approaching the value of Hell mod. And I think I'm just going to make another coal generator, to be honest. Oh, that ran out of power? What? How is it out of power? Does this thing draw more power? How much power do you use? Actually not clear. Maximum input's 1100, but does that mean it actually uses 1100 like per second? Per tick? Yeah, the crafting calculator mod is in that direction, but it's so much harder to actually do. I used it a little bit in Nomi Factory. Coal generator. Oh, right. It doesn't tell me how much it makes. Super helpful. This literally doesn't even tell me how much it makes, so that's nice. Wait. Need cobblestone. Need 1 more of those black quartzes. 4 sticks. I can make this guy. And then just throw a bunch of charcoal in him, and then we don't have to worry about wires, because I'm lazy. Okay, wow, there's a lot of options here. So now I need another compost. And what else did we need? Grass. Oh, I also made terracotta. I was proud of myself for figuring this out. Because you need molten clay, which I was like, oh wait, I can't make clay. And then I saw that I can melt gravel to make molten clay. So I did actually make those LV wire things, but they were really annoying and you run into them and they're ugly. And I feel like I would need to make a whole organized system for those if I use them. So anyway, knowing I have those flux ducts now is much better. Okay, what do we do again? Wait. Oh yeah, it's the liquid dirt on gravel. But the liquid dirt comes from a still, which needs water of life. And water of life is made in the fermenter using gravel, water, and compost. Okay. What else can the water of life make while I'm looking at it? Oh, nothing. That's all it does. Okay. What else can liquid dirt do? It can also make molten clay, which cannot make you the real clay. What else was I gonna look at? Oh, what else can you make in a still? I think I wanted to know. Canola oil, biomass to ethanol, and water of life to liquid dirt. That's it. Okay, so grab these, make the leaf. Bada bing, bada boom. I need a gravel, which I have. I need water, which is over here. Plop it in there. Gravel and compost. Boom, shakalaka. Now, how much water of life do I need? Or I should say liquid dirt. 50. I have 100. Perfect. So now I need the still, which needs sturdy casing, which we remember that we have. Don't worry. And then... boom, we got the still. And then we still... uh-oh. Are we gonna run into issues where I can't partially fill a bucket? What can I partially fill? Do I need that tank thing I had earlier? Where did I even put that? Is it in here? Where did I put it? Am I going crazy? Oh, it's just in my inventory. That's where I put it. Oh, there we go. Or did that just grab water? No, that worked. So you can grab partial buckets with this thing. You just can't grab out of the basins. Wonderful. Okay, that's working. And then finally we go to the carpenter. You can stop what you're doing. And I am gonna need to disconnect the water. Will this reset what's in the reservoir here? Perfect. And then I will take the liquid dirt, plop it in. Then I take some, what was it? Gravel. We should be able to get 2 even. Dirt! Woohoo! Oh man, that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Okay, and then that dirt can be turned into quest, which needs water again. Yeah, it's very different than Factorio from the modding end, for sure. I get that. No, it's like this. And that. Grass block. Beautiful. Okay, now, how do I replicate dirt? Let's look into that. dirt. Oh, I just combine it with gravel. Did I just screw up then? Because now I have a grass block? Did we just goof? Because now... Shoot. Wait, why is that not here? Hold on, wait a sec. What is going on here? I just confused the hell out of myself. What? Where's that recipe with 2 gravel and 2 dirt? That made more dirt. Is there... Oh, there's different kinds of dirt. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Don't you love it? I just assumed this was like all these. But no, this is actually a different dirt. Oh my god. This game, man. Game kills me. Wait, can you turn coarse dirt back into dirt? Well, coarse dirt is a vanilla thing from after Krydax learned about dirt. Or learned about, I don't know. Back when I played Minecraft, coarse dirt was not a thing. So is that what they're intending me to do to get more dirt? Or are they just, is there a different way to get liquid dirt? Like, if I want 100 dirt blocks, are they just assuming I'm going to do this? I assume. But the problem is now that I have this, I wasted my 2 compost. It's okay. Compost is cheap. It just takes a minute. I just need to do this again. Okay, so yeah, that's their intended method then. So I just need to grab this. That didn't fall, did it? Oh god, that would have been bad. Okay. Yeah, how much RF is this even using? It's surely not using 1100, right? Can't even tell. It's so hard to tell. It's like, I'm guessing the recipe uses a specific amount of RF, but it doesn't tell me. Okay, how many saplings do I need? 9 times 9. I need 81. Could have turned back into liquid dirt. And add back gravel. Wait, I'm confused. But I need 2 to make the gravel replication thing happen. Right? So how would I have done that with less than 2 blocks? Okay, so what do? Say I can just jump on it? That doesn't seem to be doing anything. Looks like this is a job for hoeing. Hoe down, throw down. I don't even have a shovel. Okay. Oh, that's stone. Dave, I'm still not understanding somehow what you're talking about. Because, like, I had one dirt block and one grass block that was placed in the world. The only way to make the grass block is to have the 2 compost. And there was no way that I could do the replication of dirt blocks without picking up that grass block. Because I only had 1 dirt block in my inventory. I mean, I could have, you know, made more water of life or whatever and done that process again. I could with the smeltery. Wait, a dirt block makes more than 1 dirt? Is that what you're saying? When you melt it? It makes 1 ingot of liquid dirt. Oh, interesting. It makes almost triple what you need. I see, and that's another thing that, like, why would I assume that something would just self-replicate like that? I would assume it would make the same amount that it requires, you know what I mean? So that, in a weird way, that's almost like... I don't know. Like, this recipe makes sense for replication, that this one does not. Because that feels like it should be a closed loop that doesn't increase things. Like, that feels like bad balance more than something I would expect to find, you know, existing on purpose. So, that is weird. Okay, just a few more saplings. Oh no, shoot, I'm gonna need even more than that. Okay, never mind. We're still a little bit away. All right, let's focus on more grass. Should I get a whatchamacallit? A whatchamahoozit? What are they called? What is it? A comma? Is that right? I think that's right. Is that a thing I should care about here? The problem is I couldn't make any tinker's tools with iron, so I was kind of confused about that too. I wanted to make one of these, but I couldn't make a pickaxe head. So that was a little confusing. Metal tools need the smeltery. I see. Well, no, that part makes sense, Crazy Mage. It's just the melt, like most things melt into the amount that it took to solidify them into. So that's what I'm specifically saying is weird. Wait, I'm just placing and remining this. What am I doing? Wait, what? What am I doing? Oh, it's coarse dirt. I need to hoe it first. Okay, there was a reason I placed this. Like, hold on. Alright, there we go. That's why we placed it in the first place. You know... Don't die. That would be a bummer. Okay. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. All right, 32 is enough for now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little grass patch over here. Maybe I'll make it... Wait, I have coarse dirt again. Maybe I'll make it on top. And we'll make sure we don't lose any dirt off the edge of the world. Give me more cobble. Where's my cobble at? Over here. Whoa. That's not what I meant to click. Yeah, the 2-to-1 ratio thing, Crazy Mage, I definitely know about being a thing, usually in Tinkers. All right. Yeah, Dave, that's probably the case. That does make sense. Okay, so now if I plant a grass block next to these, it should grow more grass. And then that grass will grow tall grass, and then that tall grass will let me finally get seeds, right? Am I right about that? Or am I making crap up that's not going to work? And will flowers naturally spawn, or am I going to have to do the centrifusion grass thing? And then once we have petals, I probably should make a flower pouch. I can make dyes too, right? Out of these? Or no? Yeah, those count as dyes. So then I feel like that's important because I've needed dyes for various things. Although this doesn't give you white flowers, which is kind of important because I've needed white dye specifically. So somehow we're gonna have to Botania our way to white flowers with this. Yes, I am gonna need way more compost. Ash to compost recipe. Bone is white dye. The problem is bone's hard to get too. I was figuring I would just do wheat once I have wheat. And then, because I can, once I have tall grass, I can just get grass seeds and grow wheat, or wheat seeds. If you supply redstone poles to a faucet, it will auto-pour. That's nice. Bog earth turns into peat after a while. Well, what the heck is bog earth? Dirt, sand, and water. Oh, look, I even get to replicate dirt that way. Because 4 dirt goes into 8 bog earth if I use a water can. But I thought I needed this. Don't I need to do it this way? Dave? Which I already have one of these circuit boards, but don't I need a farm block and such for that? It works over time. Interesting. Now, is that true of all the things that you can do the farming with, or just some of the things? Knowing Minecraft, it's just some of the things. I'll put this nickel to the side for now. You can put a hopper under table or basin. Right. Yeah, I just haven't had a need to automate any of this stuff yet. It's good to know that I can, but has not been necessary. How did I get black pigment? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, charcoal makes that. That one's easy. That one's easy. What was I doing? Dirt, bog. So does the forestry farming thing only automate things that can already be done naturally, or does it have some of its own processes that are unique? And I do have cans somewhere. Specifically, I need one because I get 2 more if I do it this way. Oh, but you can't fill a can. That makes no sense. I don't know. Does this hold more water? What's up, Kuriana? Boom. Boggy earth. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Crazy Mage. Oh, and then I keep forgetting about this thing. Could have been using this the whole time. Aha, accelerate. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh no. I hope that would work. Well, guess we get to wait. It will work on this though, right? And then make more power. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. All that power. Put water next to it, it goes faster. Okay. Again, don't know how I ever would have known that. Another good example of obtuseness. Alright, finally, 2 compost. So now I can make a grass block when we need to. And then we can get more compost from the wheat. Or ash. Ash is another thing that comes from peat. But the wheat makes a lot more, Dave. I get 4 per dirt. Well, that wasn't the whole point for peat, because I need bone meal, too. I need bone meal for marble. I guess the white flowers, if I eventually get them, could have worked, too, but I've needed bone meal for a couple things as well, I want to say. But yeah, I need it for marble because there are certain casings that require marble. Anyway, let's get some water next to it here. Well, wheat's going to be really easy to grow if I'm not mistaken with this time wand. That's not what I wanted. What the? Wait, what? Did that just soak up the water? Like, does this not... What's going on here? Okay, that was weird. Hey, Crazy Mage, thank you for the Prime sub. 2 months. Wonderful. Oh, now this works. Wait, does this not work at all then if you don't have water? I think it wasn't working at all without water. And now do I mine it, or do I hoe it, or... I probably just mine it. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Grab all that. Beautiful. So we got 16 peat out of the deal, and another way to replicate dirt. Wonderful. Okay, so now let me get some more of those cans. I'll do it again. I'll double do it, in fact. If I can find where I put those. Someday we'll be organized, but that will be when we're doing the real playthrough. Not this learning playthrough. This learning playthrough is for absolute disorganization. Okay. Recipe for bog earth. Let's see. Why didn't it work twice? What am I missing? Wait, I had... Am I going insane? I had 2 water cans. Where did the other one go? I'm pretty certain of that fact. So I'm a little confused what just happened. Did it consume 2 water cans? Huh. That was weird. Oh, I'm your favorite? Thank you. That's fun. I think it consumed 2 water cans. just now, somehow. How now, brown cow? Don't know how, but it don't matter. Boom. Speed up that crap. Now we got peat for days. All right. Sweet. Sweet Pete. 48. Oh. I found it. It got equipped onto my feet. How did that happen? Okay, well at least the game didn't consume an extra one. Oh man. Okay, so now we have lots of peat, and I can smelt it into ash. And then I can combine the ash with, was it a dirt, to make a compost. That's right. In the old days, you used peat farm. No, in the old days, peat didn't exist. That's what the real old days are. But you're probably right. Oh shoot, what was I just gonna do? I needed grass. That's what we're doing, grass. Okay, so we take the 2 compost that we have. We make... Oh, no, this needs to be done in the doodad. The doodad, where the dudes are done. Okay, there we go. Grass block. Now you can spread your cheer. Does this work? This does not seem to work. Oh, it works on this one. I see. Okay. There we go. Boom. Now can I inspire tall grass to grow? Or does that not work that way either? Doesn't seem to work that way. Yeah, exactly. Cheaty wand. Well, you know, they give it to you, so. You need to bone meal. I thought tall grass grew naturally. Is that not a thing? Oh, huh. The more you know. So, speaking of bone meal. Oh, no. Now I need 2 more compost? Is that what we're saying? No, I can do the ash. Okay. Alright, you and you. Maketh me some ash. And then I've got dirt. Do I have dirt? Where'd my dirt go? I guess I turned it all into peat. Peat and repeat. I do need some more gravel. Or gravel. Do a little coarse dirt action. Get it backwards because... Wait, what? Oh my goodness, how many times am I going to do this? Okay. Coarse dirt needs to be hoed. Then you can replicate it. Yeah. I have had enough with ash. Okay, now we can replicate that with the gravels. Oh, it again. Shovel it. And put away the coarse dirt. Now we've got ash and dirt. Ashes and dirt. To make compost, baby. What's up? Yeah, 1K clay would be a lot. I mean, I would have automated a lot of these things if even without going to 1K. Or going... Yeah, even without going to 1K. Boom. Boneth the meal. Haha. Haha. Of course we get no seeds. Fair. Harsh but fair. There we go. There we go. There's those canola seeds. Why canola? My inventory is a mess. Let's get rid of some things here. Yeah, we've got inventory problems. That we do. Put all the metal stuff in there. We can at least have the first smidgen of organization. Now I oddly will count a stone gear as metal, but not stone as metal. And I will not fight about it, but that is what I'm gonna do. Iron plate. Yeah, that's true. Well, see, I guess I don't know that that's true. I don't know how many, like, different dirt blocks I'm gonna need eventually. Okay, so we've got coffee and canola. What I mostly want... Oh, look, there's a flower. I do get flowers this way. But are these the wrong flowers? For the Botania? There we go, I saw it. I saw the goodness. Wheat seeds are now mine. Wonderful. Okay, and sugarcane. Oh yeah, sugarcane. Well, I guess I didn't need it. I thought I needed it for paper, but then I found a different way to make paper. Which was yet another thing I had to struggle through. Okay, you grow tall and strong. Well, this is easy. So, who needs automated wheat farms when you can just hold right click? Now wheat gives me all sorts of stuff. Let's look at that for a minute. We can get hay bales, which don't do anything. We can ferment wheat into biomass. We can moisten it. Oh, this is how we get mycelium the first time. Which, I want to say... is what gets me towards mushrooms. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know exactly how this works. Do I just plant the mycelium block and it just grows these naturally with some sort of specific lighting? I have no idea. Can make a culinary generator. Mostly just cake. Oh yeah, and this is important. The straw feather will allow me to make the inscribing tools, which I need for Thaumcraft, I believe. Okay, I'll just plant all those. And then we'll throw all this seed stuff in a chest. Throw all the flowery stuff. You need mushrooms to grow mushrooms. But yeah, but that farm thing is showing, look, it's showing that you don't need any germlings. So that implies you don't need mushrooms to grow mushrooms. They just grow on that soil automatically in a shroom farm. That's what that's implying to me. Because, like, wheat has germlings needed here to make these different products. So that, it's confusing because it seems to imply that mushrooms just grow on their own. Oh, maybe I am right. Fun, fun, fun. That's a foist. What should I even do next? What are we doing? Oh yeah, I want to start with Thaumcraft. So we're doing Botania, and Botania, probably Botania. Botania needs me to centrifuge some grass blocks, and to get some centrifuged grass blocks, I need some grass blocks. So let's make some more grass blocks. And then that's not gonna work because we need Silk Touch. Let's, oh god, I don't want to do enchanting. What are the other ways I can do this? That's literally the only way. Okay, well, I can just make some more compost with the wheat. Easy enough. Vanilla flowers work too. Okay, because I can make a decent amount more. Oh, so I can pestle and mortar the flowers I just got? Okay, let me try that. Let me try that. What? I don't have blocks? I don't. There you go. Okay. You know what I should do is get rid of all these pickaxes. So fun fact, I have all those pickaxes because I thought the recipe that... what's my drop item key? I don't actually know. I thought the recipe that you make redstone and glowstone with consumed of the pickaxe and the bowl. Turns out that's not true. Yeah. So what that ended up meaning was I had a lot of extra pickaxes. What did I need? A bowl? Okay. Mortar and pestle. It's weird that that's called a pestle and mortar. I've never heard it called that in that order. It's always like mortar and pestle, not pestle and mortar. There it is, floral yellow powder, baby. And then I need bone meal, which is in here. Look at this progress, my goodness. Now, do I need to do anything with these? Do they grow, like, more? Oh, they do. I get to be tall boys. Tall boys and tall girls. Uh-oh. Yeah, that didn't work. Shear them. Got it. Let's see. You are just iron. That's easy. Do I have iron? I do not. Hiya. Hiya. Okay, so now I have tall ones, and I can turn those into petals. And then I have petals. And what did I need to do with these again? I already forgot. Why am I even doing this? Oh, I can get a flower pouch. That's pretty neat. I can make all these wands. I'm doing this for more floral fertilizer, but then why do I need more floral fertilizer? What does that do for me? Oh yeah, this is because I want, what do I want? I want the Salus Mundus, which requires the lavender quartz, which requires, what? Alchemy catalyst, which requires mana pearls, which requires a mana pool, which needs living rock, which needs a pure daisy, which needs 4 white petals. So white petals are really what we're doing here. And I do need the flower pouch, which requires a bunch of wool. Wool is a bit of a problem right now. Was there another way, or is that pretty much it? I think that's pretty much it, the vines thing. Let me go get some more string. I guess this is a good amount of vines, actually. Okay, what am I doing? Crush. Crush those. I will need some more bone meal as well. Did I get more compost? Yes. 2 peat and 2 compost. I probably have to go soon as well. As much fun as I am having. Let's get rid of these bowls. Crush some more. Ah! It's not. Oh, wait. What? Oh, that was weird. The icon disappeared. 16 compost and inventory. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Where did that come from? Blind as a bat, aren't we? Aren't we? Oh, God. Okay, there's some more floral fert. Boom. And then bone meal it up. Tall boys and girls, look at you go. Can you just shear the top? No, you cannot. Now I also... a little too close to the edge here. Okay, so... oh, you can plant the petal? Wait, you can plant petals? That's weird. Tile.buriedpetals.name. Not enough light. Torches somewhere. Still no, huh? Weird. Maybe it's scripted. What am I doing? Flower pouch. Flower pouchy. So we need vines. Make a bunch of strings, and then we need the strings to make some wool, and then we need the wool and a petal to make a flower pouch. Perfect. Now, can I not put petals in the flower pouch? Just flowers in the flower pouch? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I thought the flower pouch would hold the petals too, and I could just hold all of my flowery stuff in the flower pouch. But it'll hold the flowers, so that's kind of nice. Oh, I need the Okay, so I need that. There's only 3 of those. That's pointless. I'll put away those 3Bs. Put away a few random things. It's nice to have wool for later. Bone meal. Oh, I missed one. Petals, powders, and floral fertilizer. All right. Oh, come on. You get 3. Give me more. There we go. I got white. I got mystical white flowers. Got 2 white flowers, actually. Sweet. Shear up the goodies. The flower pouch did not function. Odd. Maybe it doesn't work on tall flowers. Pretty useless so far. Oh, far be it from me that there's a tall flower pouch. We only fit short flowers in our flower pouches here, boys. Okay, so now I do want to plant these petals, but how do I grow them faster? Like, that one's still growing. Is there a way to grow these faster? Can I bone meal them? Oh, okay, easy. And now we have all the white dye in the world, which is pretty awesome. Because we need that for marble, which is a thing. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, now these petals I need to make into a pure daisy. No, what's it called? Is that right? Yeah, to make living rock. Okay. So I need the petal apothecary, which is some cobblestones. I did actually read about that. I did some reading about the Botania guide. I need slabbies. Boom. Where should I put it? Anywhere, because we have the messy base and we love it. All right, what do we got? How do I do this? Oh, you have to throw them in? I guess I'll have to remember my how do I throw items away hotkey. Oh, the new version holds all the pouch or all the versions. Yeah, well, what's weird is even reading the little Botania guide made it sound like it would hold everything, like including the petals. So I don't know, maybe I misread it, but. Okay, so how do I throw things? Is it throw? Drop? Button 5, aha. We have discovered 2, 3, 4. And then a seed to complete the craft. Meaning what exactly? I shall read the book. Where did I put the book? I left the book somewhere. Oh no, where's my book? It's a big green book. It's hard to lose. But I seem to have lost it. Seriously? How did I lose that thing? Is there another chest I don't know about? Thought I was just rocking the 3 chest life over here. That is weird. I guess I can just make another one. Don't remember throwing it away. Maybe I did. Throwing in some seeds. Yeah, it's not very clear. But that does mean any seeds. So, as you said, Dave. Now, do these count as seeds, or are those are flowers? So I need like actual seeds. Okay. Oh, now there's like a little readout thingy because I'm holding the book, the good book. Whoa! Pure daisy, baby. Now, do I plant that on grass? It looks like. And then I need stone. And we can get some living rock. And I bet this works. Maybe it doesn't. Doesn't seem to. Oh, it does work. Okay. Ta-da! Nice. Alright, I'll just do that again because I don't really know how much I'm going to need yet. So we'll do a nice little 16. And then I'll do some living wood just because I can. And then I will have to call it quits for this stream. Thank you for all your help, Dave and Salsa and everybody else. Mage, you guys have been very helpful. I've learned a lot. Axe. Oop. Almost left clicked that bad boy. Hopefully that wouldn't destroy it. Wrong tool. Alright, sweet. We got living wood, which turns into all sorts of things. And then we have living rock. Yeah, how to automate the pure daisy. Well, you would need block placers and block breakers. Other than that, it's actually not too hard. Oh, but you need a timer. Maybe a sensor that can sense when the block it's looking at is living wood and then it breaks it. Yeah, that is. See, and that's the kind of thing that I don't like in Minecraft, because it's a janky automation. It's not like this kind of thing where like a machine has a tube connected to another machine. Like, this is the kind of automation I like in Minecraft, whereas that kind of automation with weird redstone machines is less my jam. This does not have AE2. I'm not sure about refined storage. Looks like it does have refined storage, which looks a lot like AE2. What the heck? I'm confused. This looks like AE2. It's like the same stuff. But without the... No, it even has the cables. Huh. Is that just like without the auto crafting? Refined has a thing that'll place and break. Interesting. Okay. And it has a detector, which I assume detects a block, maybe? Or maybe it detects something else. I don't know. Who knows? Constructor and destructor. I don't see anything called that. Oh, it's like a core thing. Okay. Oh, it was one of these. Okay. Anyway, all right. I got to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, goodness. We might do some more again. Another time, another day. See you later, Strudel. See you, Dave. See you, Salsa. Yeah, I figured that part, Crazy Mage. See ya, Alor.